Imagine this, the roar of the crowd echoing through the colossal stadium, spotlights cutting through the haze like laser beams. And there you stand, heart pounding, Pokeballs gripped tight in your hand. Across from you, the most powerful trainer in the region locks eyes, their legendary Pokémon at the ready. This isn't just a battle. This is the pinnacle. This is the Pokémon League Championship match. Win, and you etch your name into eternity as the new champion. Lose, and your journey ends in bittersweet defeat. For over 25 years, this moment has defined what it means to be a Pokémon trainer. It's the dream that launched a billion childhood adventures. But how did we get here? What ancient rivalries, rule changes, and unsung heroes forged this unbreakable institution? Welcome to the entire history of the Pokémon League and Champions. I'm your host, and over the next 3 hours, we're not just skimming the surface. We're plunging into the deepest lore, from the dusty origins in Kanto's Indigo Plateau to the glittering global stages of today. Buckle up, trainers. This is the full unfiltered saga of badges, Elite Fours, champions, and the battles that shaped a world. Let's set the stage. Picture the Pokémon world before leagues were a thing. Scattered regions, wild Pokémon roaming free, trainers battling for glory in back alleys and forest clearings. No structure, no stakes, just raw ambition. Then came the Indigo League, the blueprint for everything. Born in Kanto, the heartland of Pokémon society, it wasn't some overnight sensation. It evolved from a simple gym system designed to test aspiring trainers. 8 gyms, each guarded by a master, specializing in a type. Brock's Rocks, Misty's Waves, Latoya's Surge's Thunder. Collect those badges, prove your mettle, and you're cleared for the big leagues. The Pokémon League itself. But the league isn't just a tournament, it's a governing body. The Pokémon League Association oversees it all, certifying gyms, regulating challenges, crowning champions. In Kanto and Johto, they share the Indigo League, a unified powerhouse perched on the Indigo Plateau. Defeat the Elite Four, 4 shadowy titans, each a near unbeatable force, and you face the champion. In red and blue, that champion was Blue, your eternal rival, smug and sharp as a razor leaf. Beat him, and the title's yours. But Red didn't stop there. He climbed that mountain, became the untouchable legend, setting the bar for player champions everywhere. This classic circuit, 8 badges, Elite Four gauntlet, champion showdown, became the gold standard. Johto mirrored it seamlessly. Lance the Dragon Master, holding the throne with his roaring Charizard and Dragonite. Lance wasn't just strong, he was a symbol. A cop-turned champion, bridging enforcement and elite battling. His legacy? Inspiring every dragon tamer from Claire to Drasna. Fast forward to Generation 3, and Hoenn explodes onto the scene with the Hoenn League. Stephen Stone, the steel-hearted heir to the Devon Corporation, reigns supreme. But plot twist, Wallace steps up in remakes, his elegant water types dancing like a symphony. These guys weren't just trainers, they were visionaries. Stephen mined mega evolution secrets. Wallace preserved ancient primal reversion lore. The league here introduced double battles as an option, hinting at the format shake-ups to come. Sinnoh's Pearl and Diamond era cranked the intensity. Cynthia. Oh, Cynthia. The Sinnoh champion isn't just the strongest, she's an icon. Her Garchomp hits like a freight train. Her Spiritomb haunts nightmares. Cynthia's not content lording over the league. She's out there digging ruins, unravelling mythicals like Arceus. Sinnoh's league formalised the Elite Four's type specialisation even tighter, with Aaron's Bugs, Bertha's Ground Shakers, Flint's Firestorm, and Lucian's Mind Games. Unova brought Alder, the wandering champion who ditched the throne for mentorship. Iris, the pint-sized dragon queen, took over, proving age means nothing when Dragonite's on your side. Here the league tied into plasma-fueled revolution, badges symbolising unity against division. Carlos dazzled with Diantha, actress-turned champion, her Gardevoir mega evolving in the spotlight. Fairy types crash the party, flipping meta on its head. Alola, wild card. No traditional gyms at first, just the Island Challenge, Kahunas and Trials. Professor Kukui, that surf-loving mad scientist, bootstrapped the Alola League from scratch. Tapu Guardians blessed it, and suddenly, it's full league format. Trials to badges, Elite Four, and Champion Showdown. First champ? The player, then Hao, steps up post-game. Ash claims it in the anime, his first official title. Gala's Dynamax spectacle under Leon, the undefeated king, turns stadiums into coliseums. Gigantamax Charizard roaring over Winden. Paldea's Terrestrial phenomenon with Geeta, top champion overseeing a tournament-style league. Nimona, your rival turned elite hopeful. These champions aren't static trophies. They're the region's soul, defenders, explorers, innovators. Blue the prodigy, Lance the guardian, Stephen the industrialist, Cynthia the scholar, Alder the sage, Iris the prodigy, Diantha the star, Leon the showman, Geeta the strategist, and you, the silent protagonist, claiming thrones from Kanto to Paldea. But the anime, it remixes everything. No direct league conquests early on. Regional conferences like Indigo, Orange Islands, Silver. Ash battles his way through, but true champion glory hits Alola, then Masters 8 in Galar. World Coronation Series catapults him to world champ, facing legends like Cynthia, Leon, even Steven. Why does this matter? The league isn't frozen in time. It's evolved like a Pokémon hitting level 100. Early days, solo runs, level grinding. Now, open levels, battle tower gauntlets, post-game rematches, formats shift, singles, doubles, rotation, special events like the Champion Cup in Alola, where Kahunas and trial captains clash, Galar's exhibition matches, Paldea's Academy Ace tourney. Behind the curtain, the Pokémon League Association pulls strings, approving gym leaders, sanctioning elites. In some regions, it's Pokémon League, others, conference or association. TPCI mirrors it IRL with VGC Worlds, TCG Championships, Leon Cup echoes. Anyone? Esports pros grind like Elite Four hopefuls. But stakes run deeper. Becoming champion means defending your region. Lance quells Rocket, Cynthia thwarts Cyrus, Leon crushes Eternatus. It's power, yes, but responsibility. What if you fall? Rematches keep champions sharp. Rivalries fuel it. Blue vs Lance, Cynthia vs Ash. This history hides gems. Forgotten leagues, Sevi Island circuits, side games like Masters, every champion assembled. Manga twists, Pokédex holders challenging Blackthorn's Lance. Spin-offs, Ranger leagues, Conquest warlords. Yet threats loom. Team evildoers target leagues, Aquas, Magmas, Galactics, Skulls. Global unification beckons, Project Masters, World Coronation. Imagine Indigo versus Galar finals. Why obsess over this? Because the league is Pokemon's heartbeat. Every gym badge grind, every Elite Four wipe, every champion KO, it's your story. From Game Boy Pixels to Switch Spectacles, it's grown with us. Controversies? Power creep? Format fatigue? Anime power scaling debates? Future? Scarlet Violet DLC teases more? Legends games hint pre-league eras? In this video, we unpack it all. Indigo's birth, regional rises, Johto merge, Hoenn innovation, Sinnoh supremacy, Unova upheaval, Kalos flare, Alola invention, Galar grandeur, Paldea polish, champion deep dives, backstories, teams, legacies, Elite Four spotlights, anime arcs, real-world ties, rule evos, tournament timelines, secrets, who really runs the Indigo Plateau. 3 hours of pure Pokémon passion. If you're a lore hound, competitive grinder, or casual Ash fan, this is your Viridian Forest. Hit like if you're hyped to dethrone Lance. Subscribe for more epic histories. Comment your favourite champion below. Mine's Cynthia, hands down. Drop a super chat for shoutouts. Let's battle history together. Grab your Pokédex, trainer. The league awaits. The dawn of the Indigo League. In 1996, Pokémon Red and Blue changed everything by unveiling the Indigo League, the world's very first official Pokémon battling circuit right there in the Kanto region. You step out of Pallet Town, your starter Pokémon by your side, and suddenly you're thrust into a structured world of challenges where true power isn't just handed to you, it's earned through sweat, strategy, and unbreakable bonds. Think about that for a second. Before Kanto, Pokémon training was this wild, unstructured adventure in the lore, with trainers roaming free, battling whoever they wanted. But Red and Blue flipped the script. They introduced a league system that became the blueprint for every region that followed. The Indigo League wasn't just a tournament, it was a governing body, a prestigious organisation that set the rules, sanctioned battles, and crowned the ultimate champion. And you, as the player, were its newest hopeful, chasing glory from the grassroots of Route 1 all the way to the peak of victory. At the heart of this system were the gym leaders, these elite trainers stationed across Kanto like unbreakable fortresses. They weren't random opponents, they were gatekeepers, each one mastering a specific type of Pokémon, testing your growth before you'd earn the right to push further. To even dream of facing the league's inner sanctum, you had to collect 8 badges, 1 from each gym. Miss one, and you're stuck. Collect them all, and doors that were once sealed fly open. It was brilliant, wasn't it? A ladder of progression that made every victory feel monumental. Let's walk through it, badge by badge, because you can't appreciate the dawn of the Indigo League without reliving that grind. Your journey kicks off in Pewter City with Brock, the rock-type specialist. He's this stoic gym leader, arms crossed, his onyx towering like a living boulder. Beat him, and you snag the boulder badge, your first proof you're no rookie. But here's what made it genius. Each badge doesn't just sit pretty in your case, they supercharge your Pokémon, forcing obedience from higher levels and symbolizing your rising status. Trainers across Kanto start respecting you more. Wild Pokémon come easier. It's this tangible feedback loop that keeps you hooked. Push north to Cerulean City, and Misty's waiting with her water types, her Starmie spinning like a watery drill. That Cascade badge? It unlocks HM moves, letting you surf across previously impassable waters. You feel the world expanding already. Then Cerulean gives way to Vermilion, where Litty Surge electrifies the scene with his Raichu. The Thunder Badge teaches you about paralysis strategies, and suddenly you're zapping foes left and right. But the real tension builds as you hit Saffron City. Sabrina, the psychic prodigy, warps your mind with her Alakazam, turning battles into psychological warfare. Her Marsh Badge amps up your special attacks, prepping you for the meta shifts ahead. Rush, you're a kid with a Game Boy, heart racing as Kadabra predicts your every move. Fail, and you're teleported out in shame. Succeed, and Kanto bows a little deeper. Not every gym's a straight shot though. You detour to Future City for Koga's poison types, slithering shadows that teach you about status ailments. The Soul Badge boosts speed, turning your team into blurs. Or head to Cinnabar Island, where Blaine's fiery Arcanine nearly incinerates you before the Volcano Badge hands over Fire Mastery. And don't get me started on Celadon City's Erica. Her Victreebel vines ensnare you in grass-type traps, but the Rainbow Badge opens new avenues for status healing. Finally, Viridian Gym caps it off with Giovanni himself, the Team Rocket boss disguised as a humble leader. His Raidon crushes dreams, but snag that Earth Badge, and you've done it. 8 badges gleaming, each one a story of near defeats, type matchups mastered, and Pokémon who evolved mid-battle. These gym leaders weren't filler. They were the Indigo League's frontline defense, ensuring only the worthy could challenge what lay beyond. Without those 8 keys, the Elite Four remained a myth, locked behind the League's gates on the Indigo Plateau. You arrive there exhausted, but exhilarated, badges pinned like medals of war. The League HQ looms massive, a monument to ambition. Hand over your proof, heal up, and step into the unknown. But who guards the pinnacle? That's where the mystery thickens. Whispers swirl through Kanto. The champion is unbeatable, a shadow figure who's crushed every challenger. Is it Lance with his dragons? Some legendary wanderer? You train relentlessly, grinding levels on Victory Road, dodging wild matchups in Onyx. Your team peaking at powerhouses like a level 60-something Charizard or Blastoise. The Elite Four awaits, but that's not the twist. You blaze through them. Lorelei's icy Lapras, Bruno's muscle-bound Machamp, Agatha's ghostly Gengar, Lance's roaring Dragonite. Each one's a brutal gauntlet, forcing perfect switches and revives. You emerge battered, one win from legend. And then the final door opens, spotlights hit, the crowd roars in your mind's eye, and there he is, your rival, Blue, the cocky kid from Pallet Town who mocked your starter choice way back when. He's no longer that smug punk, he's the champion, his team a nightmare roster, Pidgeot, Alakazam, Raiden, Arcanine, Gyarados, and that invincible Venusaur or whatever countered yours. How did this happen? Blue's been one step ahead, collecting badges in secret, building an empire while you scrapped with Team Rocket. The reveal hits like a hyper beam. The Indigo League's pinnacle isn't some distant god, it's the rival you've chased across Kanto. Beat him, and the Professor declares you the new champion. Red ascends, but Blue's fall cements the league's drama. This twist wasn't accidental. It made the system personal, turning a badge hunt into a vendetta. What made the Indigo League revolutionary wasn't just the structure, it was how it mirrored real growth. Gyms taught basics, Brock for defense, Misty for coverage, Surge for speed. Later ones layered complexity, Sabrina's mind games, Giovanni's raw power. 8 badges ensured balance, no rushing the endgame. The league oversaw it all, from badge authenticity to fair play, birthing the Pokémon Association vibe that had spanned generations. Dive deeper, and you'll see lore nuggets everywhere. Oak hints at the league's history, implying it's Kanto's pride, drawing trainers from afar. Blue's rise, fueled by his grandpa's legacy, pushing him to dominate. Your badges even let you access daycares or trade evolutions, weaving the economy into the challenge. Fail a gym, grind more, return stronger, resilience baked in. This system hooked millions. Kids traded tips on Brock's weakness, debated Misty's Starmie cheese, celebrated Blaine's puzzle door. The Indigo League wasn't static. Remakes like Fire Red and Leaf Green polished it, adding CV Islands for post-game depth, but the core remained, 8 gates to glory. Yet shrouded in that champion mystery was pure suspense. Every route, every trainer NPC teased it, the champ's unbeatable. You wonder, is it me next time? Blue's dialogue seals it. He admits your growth surpassed his, but vows revenge, that rivalry fuels replays, making the league eternal. You might ask, why Kanto first? Game Freak needed a template, simple yet scalable. Johto'd borrow it wholesale, Hoenn tweak with contests, but Indigo set the gold standard. Alola ditched gyms initially for trials, only adopting the league later under Kukui. Galar went stadiums, Paldea open world, but all nod to those 8 badges. Feel that nostalgia? Your first badge case full, Victory Road conquered, Blue downed. It wasn't just a game, it was your league debut. And that payoff? Priceless. But hold on, because the real meat of Kanto's story explodes once you hit the Indigo Plateau. Up next in Chapter 2, Kanto's Elite Four and Red's Ascension, where we uncover the Guardians who nearly ended your dream, and how one silent protagonist claimed the throne forever. You won't want to miss the battles that defined a generation. Kanto's Elite Four and Red's Ascension. In the heart of Kanto, atop the misty heights of the Indigo Plateau, 4 unbreakable warriors stand as the final barrier between any trainer and glory. These are the Elite Four, the pinnacle of power, each a master of their domain, daring you to prove yourself worthy. You've collected your 8 badges, conquered the treacherous twists of Victory Road, and now the real trial begins. No turning back. First up is Lorelei, the Ice Queen whose chill strikes fear into the hearts of hot-blooded challengers. She's a vision of elegance wrapped in Arctic fury, her Lapras gliding across the battlefield like a frozen spectre. You throw out your Pokémon, but her Jinx unleashes psychic barrages laced with icy winds, while Dugong's Aurora Beam turns the arena into a slippery graveyard. Lorelei doesn't just battle, she freezes your strategy solid, forcing you to adapt or shatter. Trainers whisper that her calm demeanour hides a competitive fire forged in the snowy peaks of Seafoam Islands. Beat her, and you feel the thaw of victory, but one slip, and you're encased in ice forever. How many have faltered here, their dreams crystallising before they could even reach the next room? Pushing forward, sweat beading despite the cold, you face Bruno, the towering brute whose fists and fighting types pound like war drums. This guy's no stranger to pain. He's a monk-turned-monster, his muscles rippling under scars from countless dojo duels. Onyx coils like a living earthquake, slamming the ground with Rock Slide, while Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee deliver combos that could crumple steel. Bruno roars challenges, testing your endurance match after match. He swaps in Poliwrath for that watery twist, drowning fire types in submission holds. You dodge, you weave, you counter, but his raw power demands respect. Win this, and you've proven brains beat brawn, yet lose, and you're just another broken challenger limping home. Bruno embodies the grind. What does it take to outlast a man who lives for the fight? Deeper into the plateau, shadows lengthen, and the air grows thick with unease. Enter Agatha, the ghostly grandmother whose wrinkled smile hides horrors that haunt your nightmares. At over 70 years old, she's no frail elder. She's Kanto's Witch Queen, commanding spectres from the shadows of Pokémon Tower. Gengar cackles as it licks your team with eerie tongues, draining life with Dream Eater, while Arbok coils in poison anticipation. Her Haunter phases through attacks, laughing off your blows, and Golbat swoops in with supersonic confusion. Agatha probes your mind, taunting weaknesses you've buried deep. Foo foo foo, she chuckles, her voice echoing like wind through graves. This isn't just a battle, it's a descent into dread, where ghost types exploit every fear, emerge victorious and the darkness lifts, but fail, and her curses linger long after the lights fade. Can you face the unknown without flinching? Finally, at the apex, Lancer waits, the Dragon Master whose cape billows like wings of legend. He's the Dragon Tamer, heir to ancient lore, riding the winds on his fearsome Dragonite. Lance's team soars with power, Gyarados thrashes with Hyper Beam, Dragonair hypnotizes with grace, and Aerodactyl dives like a prehistoric missile. But it's Dragonite that steals the show, its outrage rampages shaking the very foundations. Lance preaches the nobility of dragons, his voice booming with conviction. Strength is found in the bond between trainer and dragon, he declares. You clash titans, fire against scale, but his mastery tests your soul. Defeat Lance, and you've scaled the impossible, the Elite Four broken at your feet. 4 Guardians down, what lies beyond? Beyond that final door pulses the throne room of the Indigo League, where Kanto's champion holds court. And who claims that title? None other than Blue, your relentless rival, the cocky prodigy from Pallet Town who raced you every step of the journey. Fresh off his own Elite Four conquest, Blue's remodeled the chamber in his image, posters of his victories plastered everywhere. He's evolved since those early roots. Pidgeot rules the skies, Raiden crushes with Horn Drill, and Alakazam warps reality with psychic might. But the stars are his ace Venusaurus, a hulking Venusaur pulsing with solar beam energy, alongside Charizard's fiery wrath and Blastoise's impenetrable shell. Blue smirks. You're not gonna beat me every time. He unleashes full force, no holding back, mirroring your growth while pushing harder. The battle erupts in a symphony of clashes. Your starter locks horns with his, types countering in a deadly dance. Blue adapts on the fly, switching seamlessly, forcing you to outthink the unbeatable. One by one, his team falls. Pidgeot plummets, Raiden crumbles, Alakazam shatters under raw power. Venusaurus wilts, Charizard crashes, Blastoise blasts its last. Blue stares in disbelief as his final Pokémon faints. "No way, you're better than me?" he concedes with grudging respect, stepping aside. "You've done it. You've toppled the champion." The crowd roars invisibly in your mind. The league announcer's voice booming. The new champion of the Indigo League. But this isn't the end, it's ascension. You, the silent hero from Palette, Red, claim the title. Your name etched in eternity. Red, the boy who tamed legendaries, outfought Team's Rocket, and silenced Mewtwo itself. No fanfare, no speeches. You simply walk away stronger, your Pikachu at your side, cap shadowing determined eyes. Kanto hails you as untouchable, the pinnacle trainer whose record stands unbroken. Fans flock to the Hall of Fame, badges gleaming under glass, but Red vanishes into legend, training atop Silver's frozen peaks, waiting for challengers who never measure up. You're the ghost now, the myth that inspires generations. Blue fades into gym leader duties in Viridian, humbled but hungry, while the league solidifies its template. Badges to Elite Four to champion, a gauntlet echoing through time. Yet here's where the lore twists like a Dragonair's coil. Years later, in the gold and silver era, a retcon shakes the foundation. Lance, that dragon virtuoso you toppled, steps up as Kanto's temporary champion. With Red vanished into seclusion, Lance bridges the gap, defending the title until Johto's champions rise. Why the change? Game Freak evolves the story, weaving interconnected regions. Lance's promotion cements his status, leading his own Elite Four stint before bigger dragons call. It adds layers. Red's victory isn't erased. It's elevated, making his absence all the more legendary. Imagine challenging Lance anew in the Dragon's Den, his voice gravelly with experience. This shift fuels debates. Was Blue ever truly dethroned long-term? Does Red's shadow loom eternal? It deepens Kanto's legacy, proving the league's history bends but never breaks. Let's dive deeper into what made these battles iconic. Lorelei's ice mirrors, Kanto's rugged coasts, her team, a nod to Articuno's chill. Jinx's lips sync with blizzard precision, forcing switches that drain your PP. Trainer's theorycraft Cloyster shells as ultimate walls, but her speed catches you flat-footed. Bruno's fighting focus screams underdog tales. His Onyx foreshadows steel types, a rocky prelude to evolutions ahead. Picture the sweat, the grunts, each punch a lesson in stamina. Agatha's Gengar line pioneered ghost mechanics, immunity quirks baffling newcomers. Her Arbok's glare paralyzes progress, a poison prelude to status. Wars, fans recreate her tower hauntings in fan art, her cackle unforgettable. Lance, pure spectacle. Dragonite's multi-scale hides early damage. Outrage berserks endgames. His Gyarados echoes Red-Blue's rival fury, a blue beast tamed by Dragon Will. These weren't random rosters. They tested type coverage, demanding balanced teams. Red's triumph, personal. From Oak's lab rat to League Lord, every route built this. Beat Team Rocket in Sylph Co., surf Cerulean waves, climb Pokémon Tower, each victory compounds. Blue's dialogue evolves too. Early taunts mature into rivalry respect. "I'll be waiting at the top," he vows, only to yield. Post-victory, the world opens. Versus Seeker rematches honed skills. The Seavai Islands beckon with secrets. Red's Mount Silver exile in Crystal cements God tier status, level 80 plus team. Pikachu's thunder, eternal. No one scales that peak. Blue's Viridian Gym reignites paths, but you're the ghost champion, inspiring Leaf, Ethan, and beyond. This Elite Four gauntlet birthed the formula. 4 specialists, sequential saves, no revives mid-run in originals, pure skill. Glitches like Lorelei's missing Cloyster fueled myths. Bruno's endless Onyx grinding patience. Agatha dodged Mewtwo hype. Lance teased Blackthorn futures. Red's silence amplifies aura. Manga fleshes him battling gods, anime nods via clone battles. Yet the retcon, Gold Silver's Lance Champion, run bridges Kanto Johto. His HGSS Elite 4-slot honouring roots. Red lurks as Super Boss, affirming supremacy. It sparks what-ifs. Could Blue reclaim? Does Lance hold interim torch worthily? Layers upon layers, making replays addictive. You feel it, don't you? That rush-cresting indigo plateau. Badges heavy, heart electric. Every Pokémon cry, every feint, a story etched in code. Kanto's Elite Four and Red's rise aren't just history. They're the blueprint, the fire igniting every league since. But Kanto didn't stand alone forever. Next, Johto joins the fray, merging rival regions in ways that'll blow your mind. What happens when Lance's dragons clash with new legends? Stick around. You won't want to miss how the league expands. Johto joins the fray. In 1999, Pokémon Gold, Silver and later Crystal burst onto the scene, and with them, the Indigo League underwent its boldest expansion yet, swallowing up an entire new region called Johto. You thought Kanto's 8 gyms and that grueling Elite Four gauntlet were tough. Hold on, because now the league's reach doubled, pulling Johto into the fold and creating a massive, interconnected challenge that redefined what it meant to become a champion. Picture yourself stepping off the boat from Kanto into New Barktown. Your starter Pokémon, a Chikorita, Cyndaquil or Totodile, eager at your side. Johto isn't just more land on the map, it's a fresh canvas of strategy, culture and battles that force you to adapt like never before. The Indigo League, that unbreakable Kanto institution, announces right from the start, collect 8 Johto badges, then sail back to Kanto for 8 more. 16 badges total. That's not a league, that's a marathon of mastery. Why the fusion? Game Freak wanted to honour the originals while pushing boundaries, blending nostalgia with innovation. Johto's gyms introduced types and tactics that Kanto barely touched, turning every badge quest into a puzzle you have to solve on the fly. Let's break it down. Gym by gym, because these aren't your average leaders. They're specialists who test your roster's weaknesses with surgical precision. First up, Faulkner in Violet City. This bird-loving gym leader unleashes a flock of flying types, Pidgey evolving into Pidgeotto, and his ace Dodrio slicing through the air. You charge in with your fire or electric Pokémon, right? Wrong if you're not prepared. Faulkner's Zephyr badge demands you counter aerial dominance early, teaching you that type matchups aren't suggestions, they're survival. Beat him, and you're off to Bugsy in Azalea Town, where bug types scuttle out in force. Metapod Kakuna Scyther. His Scyther hits like a truck with those blades, forcing rock or fire users to shine. But here's the twist. Johto's bugs evolve into beasts like Scyther later, hinting at the power hidden in these early foes. Then comes Whitney in Goldenrod City, the normal type queen whose Clefairy and Miltank will milk your team dry, literally, with her infamous rollout and attract combo. Players everywhere rage quit after that Miltank, but overcoming her plain badge? Pure triumph. It tests your patience, your switches, and your ability to outlast attrition. Morty in Ecruteak City plunges you into ghost types, ghastly lines haunting the fog-shrouded gym. No normal or fighting moves here. You need dark or ghost counters, which Johto starts introducing subtly. His Gengar Ace demands psychic or dark resistance, making you question every ghost story you ever heard. Chuck in Cianwood City flips the script with fighting types, Primeape, Poliwrath, pure brawn that crushes normals and rocks. But fly or psychic Pokémon dance around his fists for the Storm badge. Next, Jasmine in Olivine City. Oh man, she's a game changer. Steel types debut here, Magnemite Evos and her Steelix, a rock steel behemoth that tanks hits like nothing else. Fire and fighting barely dent her, ground moves shrug off. Water? Forget it against Steelix's defenses. Jasmine's Mineral badge forces you to pack ground types like Earthquake users, or fighting with the right coverage. introducing a defensive meta that Kanto never dreamed of. She's not aggressive, she's a wall making you earn every point. Price in Mahogany Town chills you with ice, Swinub to Piloswine, Dugong, freezing your team solid unless you've got fire, fighting, rock or steel ready. His Glacier badge rewards preparation against status and sheer cold. Finally, Claire in Blackthorn City, the Dragon Tamer. Dragonair and Kingdra test your ice and dragon breaths. Her badge the hardest in Johto, for good reason. These leaders aren't random. They're a symphony of types. Flying, bug, normal, ghost, fighting, steel, ice, dragon, forcing diverse strategies. You can't spam one Pokémon. Johto demands a balanced squad, evolving your Kanto habits into something sharper. But wait, you're not done. After Johto's 8, the league ships you back to Kanto for remixed gyms. Brock's now rocking steel, Misty's water beast stronger, and so on. It's the ultimate test. Apply Johto lessons to familiar faces evolved. Then the pinnacle, the Indigo Plateau, where Kanto and Johto share the same Elite Four and champion. Lorelei's Ice, Bruno's Fighters, Agatha's Ghosts, Lance's Dragons. No separate Johto Elite, it's unified under Indigo, hinting at a grand regional alliance. Why share? It symbolises peace between neighbours, Kanto and Johto, as twin lands with intertwined destinies, their trainers converging on one throne. This setup blew minds back then. Crystal added events like the Dragon's Den trial, before Claire, where you prove worthiness for the Rising badge by navigating caves and battling her dragons again. Gold and Silver's day-night cycle and breeding mechanics let you optimise teams perfectly for these diverse threats. Faulkner's Flying Squad preps you for aerial wars, Jasmine's Steel for the tanky meta that would dominate later gens. Diverse strategies? Absolutely. Johto gyms cycle through underrepresented types, making you pivot constantly. Switch from fire for Faulkner to ground for Jasmine, psychic for Morty, ice for Claire. It's chess, not checkers. You feel it, don't you? That rush as you grind levels in Johto's roots, battling wild Sentret and Hoothoots, uncovering legends like the legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, roaming free. The league's expansion isn't just bigger, it's smarter. It unifies regions without erasing identities. Johto trainers dream of Indigo glory, Cantonians welcome the newcomers. In Crystal, you even battle kimono girls for Suicune's bell, tying gyms to mythos. Fast forward, remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver polish this gem. Better graphics, Pokewalker integration, but the core league structure holds. 16 badges, shared elite, Lance atop it all. Anime echoes this. Ash hits Johto gyms, Faulkner's Pidgeot showdown, Whitney's Miltank nightmare mirrors the games. Even Faulkner reappears in later episodes, cementing these leaders' legacy. But why does this matter in Pokemon's league history? Johto's inclusion proves the Indigo model scales. No more isolated regions, leagues interconnect, paving for Hoenn's standalone but inspired format. Diverse strategies from Faulkner to Jasmine birth the modern gym archetype, type specialists who evolve with metas. Shared Elite Four, first taste of cross-regional rivalry, foreshadowing Champions League clashes. Think about your own playthrough. Did you cheese Whitney with a poisoned return? Brick Steelix with Earthquake? These moments stick because Johto demands creativity. Bugsy's Scyther foreshadows Heracross powerhouses. Price's Ice preps for Lorelei 2.0. The unification hints at bigger things, regions blending, trainers from afar vying for one title. Yet cracks show. Lance as shared champion raises questions. Is he Johto's or Kanto's? His Blackthorn roots clash with Indigo Plateau reign. That tension builds to something explosive. And speaking of Lance, his dragon legacy takes centre stage next. How one man's obsession with the dragon type reshaped championships forever. You won't want to miss the roar of those airborne titans and the battles that etched his name in stone. Lance's Dragon Legacy Lance became the first trainer to hold the title of champion across two entire regions, Kanto and Johto, through his unmatched command of Dragon-type Pokémon. You know the Indigo League from the early days, that unbreakable template where gym badges lead to the Elite Four gauntlet and the champion's throne. But Lance, he turned it into his personal dragon's lair. Born in Johto but rising through Kantian ranks, he wasn't just strong, he was a visionary, seeing dragons not as relics of myth, but as the pinnacle of power. In your mind, a young Lance caped billowing like dragon wings, stepping into the Indigo Plateau after crushing the Elite Four. In the games like Red and Blue, you face him as the final boss, his team loaded with Dragonair and the fearsome Dragonite. That Gyarados twist, it's raw power, but the dragons steal the show. He declares himself the strongest, and for good reason. Lance mastered types most trainers feared, evolving Dragonair into the colossal Dragonite, a beast with outrage that could level mountains. You beat him to claim your spot, but canon lore keeps him as the enduring symbol of elite dominance. Fast forward to Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Johto emerges as Kanto's neighbour, sharing the Indigo League, but forging its own path with gyms in New Barktown to Blackthorn City. Lance doesn't fade, he evolves. He starts as Johto's Elite Four Dragon Specialist, guarding the summit with Aerodactyl, Gyarados, Dragonite, and two mighty Dragonites. His battle cry? I have but one mission, to raise dragons. That's not hype, it's his creed. You grind through Violet City to Ecrotake, collect those 8 badges, and there he stands, testing if you're worthy. But here's where Lance cements his legacy forever. After you topple the champion, first Genji, then the player assumes the throne, Lance steps up. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes, it's explicit. He claims the Johto champion title outright. Dual region mastery, Kanto's Indigo champion, Johto's pinnacle. No one else pulls this off. His dragon expertise bridges the region's Pokémon pools. Think about it. Kanto's ancient fossils like Aerodactyl pair with Johto's legendary dragons, creating a roster that's untouchable. Lance trains in the Dragon's Den beneath Blackthorn Gym, a sacred cave pulsing with Dratini energy. He earns the legendary Dragon Scale there, proving his purity of heart. You feel that rush, don't you? The moment you enter Blackthorn Gym, ice floors cracking underfoot. Claire, his cousin, refuses your badge until you fetch the Rising Badge from the den. Lance orchestrated that trial. It's his way of ensuring only true Dragon Masters rise. And his philosophy? Dragons demand respect, power through evolution, not brute force. Dragonite isn't just strong, it's loyal, hyper-trained to mega-evolve in later lore nods, though Lance predates that mechanic. His team evolves with the meta, Hyper Beam barrages, Dragon Claw precision, Surf for coverage. Trainers worldwide study his builds in competitive play, emulating the Dragon Dance setup that sweeps foes. Now hold on to your Pokeballs, because this is where Lance ascends to God tier. You've conquered Johto, claimed the champion mantle. What's left? Myth Silver? That snow-capped behemoth looming north of Kanto, shrouded in legend. Legends say only the world's elite dare climb it. You trek through blizzards, levels grinding to 80+, hyper potions stocked. At the summit, fog clears, and there he waits, not Lance but Red, the original protagonist, silent trainer from Pallet Town, Pikachu at his side. Red's the untouchable one, the kid who beat everyone, vanished to train alone. But Lance, he's the gatekeeper. In the games, defeating Lance at the Pokémon League isn't the end, it's the prelude. Post-game, you learn Lance has been monitoring Red. Whispers in Blackthorn, the Dragon Master seeks the ultimate rematch. Crystal version deepens it. Lance calls you to the summit himself. Red has been training here. Prove yourself against the strongest. You arrive, and it's biblical. Red's team, Pikachu, Espeon, Snorlax, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, all maxed out, movesets optimized for Apocalypse. Lance isn't battling Red directly here, but his shadow looms massive. This rematch elevates Lance to mythical status because he's the one who set the stage. In lore expansions, like manga and anime crossovers, Lance orchestrates these trials. Pokémon Adventures manga, Lance allies with Red against greater threats, but Mount Silver remains his proving ground. He trains alongside, pushing Red harder, his Dragonites roaring against legendaries. Fans speculate Lance versus Red is the unspoken clash that defines eras. You beat Red, but Lance's endorsement, implied through his calls and presence, marks you as peerless. Why mythical? Because Lance embodies the bridge. Johto's League doesn't just copy Kanto, it evolves it. Revelation hits hard. Johto bridges Kanto's past and future evolutions. Indigo League roots in Kanto's fossil dragons, Aerodactyl, Dragonite precursors. Johto introduces Kingdra, Tyranitar evolutions, Larvitar line shaking the meta. Lance masters them all. Blackthorn Gym evolves the Dragon Shrine concept from Kanto's ancient lore. Future Evos. His Dragonite foreshadows Rayquaza, Garchomp, the pseudo-legendary arms race. Johto's League unifies. Share badges between regions in remakes. Trade Dratini from Kanto Safari to Johto Dens. Lance's dual championship cements this. He's not regional, he's continental. In anime, Lance leads the Elite Four against Team Rocket, Dragonite soloing Mewtwo Echoes. World Coronation Series nods. His mastery influences global tiers. Competitive VGC players run Lance Core, Dragonite, Garchomp, Kingdra mirrors. His cape, iconic merch, cosplay staple, stats from Pokédex. Dragonite flies faster than sound. Sleep standing. Lance harnesses that mythos. Dig deeper into his battles. Against you in Johto Elite Four, he leads with Gyarados Thunder, wave paralysing your squad, then Dragonite Extreme Speed cleans up. Champion Room? Full Dragon Assault, Earthquake coverage cracking steals. Post-game HGSS, rematch him anytime. Team levels 75-81, multi-scale Dragonite tanks hits like a wall. You strategize, Ice Beam weakness exploited. Lance switches to Kingdra. Hydro Pump revenge kills. It's chess with fire-breathing knights. Mount Silver payoff? Red's silence amplifies Lance's voice. Lance grooms successors, but Red's presence proves the cycle. Beat Lance, beat Red, become legend. In Crystal, time travel vibes with Celebi tie dragons to temporal evos. Future Lance approves. Anime episode 229. Lance battles a Dragonite horde, cementing mastery. Manga. He reforms Elite Four, Dragon Shrine Guardian. You see it now? The elevation. Lance isn't dethroned, he's eternal. Defeat him, he smiles. You're the new Dragon Master. Mythical because he transcends games. Pokémon Masters X, recruitable, syncs with Cynthia for Dragon duos. TCG, Dragonite X cards echo his roars. Real world, VGC champions cite Lance builds. This duality shapes everything. Johto's League reveals the blueprint. Kanto's raw power meets Johto's spiritual depth, evolving into Hoenn's oceanic revolution, where water dragons like Flygon, wait, that's next. But how does Steven Stone's Steel Empire crash against tidal waves of innovation? Stick around for Chapter 5, Hoenn's Oceanic Revolution, because the waves about to hit will drown everything you thought you knew about champions. Lance's story pulses with that dragon fire, unyielding, evolutionary. He cements dual mastery by holding Kanto's throne while forging Johto's. His dragons, evolved from fossils to futures. Red's Mount Silver rematch, Lance's ultimate seal, whispering you're ready for myths. Johto bridges it all. Past badges valid, future legends born in dens, expand on his team lore. Gyarados, angry serpents tamed to dragons via dragon scale trades. Aerodactyl, revived fossils. Lance pilots like jets. Dragonites trio in some runs, overkill mastery. Training methods, Icefall. Cave grinds, Dragonfang boosts. Rivals fear him. Blue respects, Silver emulates. Cultural impact, Lance inspires Dragon-type Surge. Gen 2, Tyranitar breaks Uber Tears. His quotes, Pokémon League rules are absolute, enforced across regions, administration. He advises Indigo Plateau Board, influencing Alola's adoption. Personal arc, Orphan Trainer. Lore hints Family Dragon Shrine. Cousin Claire rivalry pushes him. Victory Road speeches hype dragons as beautiful and majestic and incredibly strong. Rematch details. Post Johto, Lance at Indigo Plateau again, levels 66-73. Dragon Dance Dragonite sweeps unprepared teams. You prep Salamence? He laughs. Ice moves ready. Mythical status peaks in Delta episode nods. Ultra Games. Lance cameo trains Multiverse Dragons. Fans demand spin-off. Johto Revelation. Goldenrod to Saffron Seamless. HGSS Kanto post-game loops back. Lance greets, Champion of 2 leagues. Bridge complete. You're hooked now, right? Lance isn't a boss, he's the alpha. Dual crowns, Dragon Dominion, Red Shadow elevating him eternal. But Johto's bridge teases horizons. Oceanic revolution incoming. Hoenn flips the script. Chapter 5 awaits. Hoenn's Oceanic Revolution. In 2002, Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire crashed onto Game Boy Advance screens, unveiling the Hoenn region and its first ever Pokémon League, a revolutionary system soaked in oceanic power that would redefine how trainers battle across the world. You step off the boat in Little Root Town, you'll start a Pokémon at your side, and from that moment, you're thrust into a gym circuit unlike anything Kanto or Johto offered, one dominated by water types that mirror Hoenn's endless seas and stormy shores. Think about it. Hoenn isn't some landlocked paradise. It's an archipelago of volcanic islands, coral reefs, and treacherous waters, where surfing from one gym to the next is as routine as breathing. The league's architects, at Game Freak, leaned into this hard. Out of the 8 gyms, water Pokémon aren't just present, they're the tidal wave crashing through the challenge. Start with Roxanne in Rustboro, her rock-solid Geodude and Nosepass seeming straightforward. But even there, the ocean's influence lurks, because Hoenn's badges aren't earned on dry land alone. You hop on your first Pokémon's back to cross waves to Dewford Town, facing Brawly's fighting crew. Makuhita pounding away while you dodge Salt Spray. But the real deluge hits as you progress. Watson, in Mauville, throws electric volts that water types laugh off, forcing you to adapt or drown. Flannery's fiery Camerupt in Lavarage tests your counters, yet the path forward demands diving into routes riddled with Tentacool and Wingull swarms. Norman, your own dad in Petalburg, hits with normal types that water resists effortlessly. Winona's Flying Altaria soars above Fortree City, but guess what preys on birds? Swampert or Gyarados, rising from the depths. Tate and Liza's psychic duo in Moss Deep demands split-second synergy, often broken by a well-timed surf. And capping it all? The 8th gym in Sutopolis, held by Juan or Wallace depending on your version, unleashes a torrent of Milotic, Whiscash and Kingdra that can sweep unprepared teams. Why this water-heavy emphasis? It's no accident. Hoenn's League circuit embodies the region's identity, turning every badge quest into a nautical odyssey. You can't fly everywhere. Dive HM unlocks underwater secrets, teeming with Relicanth and Clamperl. The Elite Four wait atop Evergrande Island, accessible only after navigating the Pokémon League's watery gates. This setup makes badges feel earned through endurance, not just power. Trainers who ignored water coverage washed out fast, learning the hard way that Hoenn rewards balance, especially against the waves. But here's where it gets seismic. Ruby and Sapphire didn't just debut the Hoenn League with this aquatic gauntlet. They detonated the battle format forever by introducing double battles as a core mechanic. Forget the one-on-one duels of old. Now you send out 2 Pokémon at once, and so does your opponent. Abilities activate in tandem, items chain react, and strategies explode into chaos. In your mind's ear, the announcer's voice booming, double battle begin. Your Swellow dives while your Grovyle slashes, targeting the foe's Linoon and Mightyna simultaneously. One thunder wave paralyzes both enemies. Your allies' moves hit unprotected flanks. This wasn't a gimmick. Double battles became mandatory for the 8th gym, the Elite Four, and Champion. Sydney's dark types swarm in pairs, Phoebe's ghosts phase through dual assaults, Glacier's ice barrage freezes the field wide, Drake's dragons roar overhead together. You have to think in multiples, spread damage, set up weather with 2 Pelipper raining hail, or combo with Follow Me and Explosion for knockouts. It shattered the single Pokémon meta players knew, demanding new team builds. No longer could you tunnel vision on a sweep. Positioning mattered. Switching 2 at once flipped risks, and moves like Rock Slide hit both foes, turning battles into chess matches on steroids. Game Freak called it a format shift for Hoenn's watery vibe. Doubles evoke tag team surfing or School of Fish coordination, but its impact rippled globally. Future leagues adopted elements, influencing VGC tournaments where doubles dominate. In Ruby and Sapphire, it felt raw, experimental. Bugs like AI misplays made some fights hilariously unfair, yet that imperfection hooked you deeper. You replayed for optimized pairs, breeding for natures that synced, hunting items like Quick Claw for double speed edges. Suddenly Pokémon like Lunatone and Solrock shone in psychic duos, Luvedisc heart-scaled teams to perfection, and Ludicolo danced through rain-boosted doubles nobody saw coming. As you conquer this revolutionary league, badges pinned gleaming on your case, the Pokémon League HQ on Evergrande beckons. The cable car climbs, heart racing, because waiting is the Elite Four, then the champion himself. And who claims the throne? Steven Stone, the Steel-type prodigy, whose debut as Hoenn's top dog stunned the world. Steven isn't your typical champion, son of the Devon Corporation president. He's a fossil-hunting explorer draped in metallic flair, his agron gleaming like polished chrome. Revealed post-Elite Four in Ruby and Sapphire's Meteor Falls cave after you think you've won. He challenges you with a team armoured for the ages, Skarmory slicing skies, Metagross crushing with Meteor Mash, Claydol levitating ancient power. Steel types dominate, resisting Hoenn's water flood, while punching through with super effective flashes. His Aggron tanks hits that would shatter lesser Pokémon. Armaldo revives prehistoric might. Cradley whips vines in Double's fury. What makes Steven a prodigy? He's not just strong, he's visionary. In the story, he mentors you from Rustborough onward, gifting the Steelix hunting tip that shapes your journey. Post-game, he delves into Mega Evolution lore in remakes, but even in originals, his passion for rare stones mirrors Hoenn's gem-laden caves. Defeating him crowns you champion, yet he lingers as a symbol of elegance amid industry. Fans obsessed, Steel's typing countered the water meta perfectly, forcing water trainers to pack fighting or ground aces like Breloom or Swampert variants. Steven's battles taught precision, his Metagross Psychic Steel hybrid outsped and outpowered, predicting your every feint. This Hoenn League wasn't merely additive, it evolved the formula. Water-heavy gyms built resilience, doubles forged tactical depth. Steven embodied aspirational power. You felt the shift personally. Your rivals' team adapted too, May or Brendan pushing double strategies that mirrored the league's innovation. Post-game, the battle frontier loomed with facilities testing these rules in towers of endless rematches. But the league core stuck, oceanic trials leading to steel supremacy. Dive deeper into those gyms for a second. Roxanne's rock-solid lessons on type matchups, crucial when Brawly's Makahita bulked through your early water picks. Watson's Magnemite zaps demanded ground types you scavenged from the sea roots. Flannery's Torkoal smoked out close calls, Norman tested family ties with Slaking's raw force. Winona's Swellow outspeed God's forced evasion mastery. The twins Tate and Liza, their double psychics predicted moves, mirroring the format ahead. One's watery finale with Salio and Crawdant sealed the badges in thematic perfection. Water everywhere, yet steel awaits to pierce it. Doubles transformed everything. In trainer battles en route, random doubles popped up, training you unwittingly. Items like focus bands saved one partner, while the other sacrificed. Weather play amplified. Your Kyogre legend or Groudon rival summoned storms affecting 4 Pokémon at once. Entry hazards like Stealth Rock hit incoming pairs, demanding dual rapid spin. It birthed icons, Salamence and Metagross, duoed for Dragon Steel Havoc. Blaziken kicked through with Blaze Kick's sinking speed boost. Steven's reveal, pure theatre, after Glacier's Walrein chills your bones and Drake's Salamence dragons. Your dreams the cave opens. Steven emerges, casual yet commanding. I've been looking forward to this. His team. Skarmory, Agron, Claydol, Armoldo, Cradley, Metagross. Each a relic of Hoenn's depths, armoured against the ocean's rage. Victory means your name on the Hall of Fame throne. But Steven's words linger. You're the new Hoenn champion. Don't waste it. This oceanic revolution set benchmarks. Water circuits influenced later regions like Unova's drifts and Paldea's terrains. Doubles paved competitive paths. Steven's steel legacy echoed in Getsis and Wickstrom. You lived it, grinding Route 120 for Absol partners, breeding perfect IV Pelipper for rain doubles, hunting Aaron in Granite Cave for your own mini Steven squad. Yet even as Steven held the crown with unyielding steel, whispers of change stirred in Setopolis' depths. What happens when elegance meets evolution? When a water maestro steps from gym shadows to claim succession? That's the intrigue of Wallace's elegant succession coming up next. Stick around, because one graceful flourish redefines Hoenn's pinnacle forever. But let's not rush past the ripples. Hoenn's league demanded mobility you hadn't seen. HM05 Dive plunged you into submarine worlds, unearthing relics that tied to Steven's fossil fascination. Gym leaders weren't bosses, they were mentors. Brawley taught balance on waves, Watson ingenuity against currents. Each badge unlocked league progression, but doubles loomed as the true barrier. Imagine facing Phoebe's Dusclops duo, double Will-O-Wisp burns crippling your attackers, forcing Shadow Sneak predictions. Steven's prodigy status, backed by lore. Devoncorp's tech fueled his hunts, he funded league expansion subtly. In Emerald he evolves, battling post-frontier, but Ruby Sapphire cemented him. His team resisted 10 types, weak only to 4, perfect for water-plagued foes. You countered with Hariyama's focus punches or Manectric thunderbolts, but his switches were masterful. Player stories abound. Kids trading online for Lileep lines, adults theory crafting sandstorm doubles with Tyranitar and Hippowdon precursors. Hoenn birthed the modern meta, where league formats birthed esports. The water theme extended to legendaries, Kyogre flooding lands, Groudon scorching seas, mirroring gym struggles. Capturing them post-league unlocked true mastery, Steven approving your growth. In remakes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it amplified. Mega Stevens, Mega Metagross Comet punched realities, doubles with expanded moves. Yet the core revolution held Water Gauntlet, Double Shock, Steel Savior. You conquered it all, badge case full, heart thundering toward history. And as Steven steps aside, the stage sets for aquatic artistry. Wallace's elegant succession awaits. How does one gym's grace topple a champion's steel? You won't want to miss it. Wallace's elegant succession. In Pokémon Emerald, Wallace steps up as Hoenn's undisputed, permanent champion, sealing a seamless handover from Steven that reshapes the entire league's future. You beat the Elite Four, Sydney with his dark types, Phoebe's ghostly squad, Glacier's icy barrage, and Drake's mighty dragons. And there he is, waiting at the pinnacle, his elegant melodic gleaming under the Victory Road lights. This isn't just a title swap. It's the moment Hoenn's league evolves, from Steven's rugged steel empire to Wallace's fluid, artistic reign. Think back to Ruby and Sapphire. Steven Stone held the throne, his metallic Pokémon like Metagross and Agron, dominating with raw power and precision. He was the perfect champion for a region born from primal forces, volcanic fury and oceanic depths clashing endlessly. But Emerald changes everything. Steven, ever the explorer, bows out gracefully. He admits he's got bigger horizons calling him, researching ancient Pokémon secrets, delving into meteorites and mega evolutions before anyone even knew those words. Instead of clinging to the champion spot, he shifts focus, paving the way for Wallace to take permanent command. No messy battles between them, no public showdown. It's pure elegance, like a coordinated contest performance, where every move flows into the next without a single stumble. You feel it the second you challenge him. Wallace doesn't just battle, he performs. His team, Swampert, Gyarados, Whiscash, Tentacruel, Ludicolo, and that iconic Milotic, dances across the field. Water Pulse crashes like a symphony crescendo, Ice Beam refracts light into dazzling patterns, and Recover keeps him poised, untouchable. He's not brute force, he's mastery of flow, timing, and beauty. Win or lose, you walk away thinking, this guy was born for this, and Pokémon Emerald makes it official. Wallace isn't a placeholder. He's the champion now, forever etched in Hoenn's lore. But here's where it gets thrilling. This succession isn't happening in a vacuum. It's tied to the biggest league expansion yet, the Battle Frontier. Right after you claim victory over Wallace, Steven hands you a ticket, not to some vacation, but to a whole new challenge system that blows the traditional 8-badge grind wide open. The Frontier Brains arrive, 7 elite masters scattered across facilities that test every facet of your training skills. No badges required here. This is pure, unfiltered competition. Picture the battle tower first. Aeneas and Noland, the Brains, demand flawless strategies across 21 escalating battles. Silver symbol for basics, gold for mid-tier, platinum for legends, only gauntlets. You climb those 100 floors in Battle Palace, where your Pokémon act on their own guts while you direct personalities. Impish, hardy, quirky. Battle Dome? It's bracket madness, scouting opponents' teams blind until the semis. Battle Factory rents you strangers' Pokémon, forcing adaptation on the fly. Arena traps you in type rules. Pike floods you with underwater horrors. Pyramid plunges you into darkness, where you can't see moves coming. Each brain is a character unto themselves. Tucker, the steel brain in the dome, mirrors Steven's legacy with his own metallic might. Annabelle in the tower commands ghost types that haunt your nightmares. Spencer in the palace, this grizzled veteran with ancient vibes, tests if you trust your team's instincts. These aren't gym leaders handing out stamps. They're pioneers proving the league can thrive beyond badges. Collect all 32 symbols, bronze, silver, gold, platinum across 7 facilities, and you've transcended the standard path. The Frontier expands Hoenn's league into a meritocracy where skill, not just badges, crowns the elite. You might wonder, why now? Why pair Wallace's rise with this radical shift? It's Hoenn responding to its own chaos. Ruby and Sapphire ended with Groudon and Kyogre, nearly unmaking the world. Emerald unites them under Rayquaza's watch, and the league mirrors that balance. Steven's departure symbolizes moving past raw power towards sustainable grace. Wallace embodies it. Water adapts, flows around obstacles, erodes stone over time. The Frontier? It's the league admitting badges are just the entry fee. Real champions prove themselves in endless variety. And then there's the twist that ties it all together. Hoenn's league boldly integrates Pokémon contests right into its competitive core. You don't just grind battles anymore, you showcase flair. Wallace himself is a former Suopolis gym leader, obsessed with beauty. His gym was a watery spectacle, ribbons fluttering, Pokémon appeals dazzling before any Pokéballs flew. Elevate that to the league level, and contests become the cultural heartbeat. In Emerald, contests aren't side quests, they're woven into the journey. Slateport's Hall, Falabor's venue, Lily Cove's grand stage, each rank from normal to master, demands choreography. Cool, beauty, cute, smart, tough. Pick your category, nail the moves, outshine the competition. Win master ribbons, and you're not just a battler. You're a performer who unlocks Wallace's respect even deeper. His melodic, contest superstar material, with mirror coat flashing like stage lights, and waterfall erupting in perfect arcs. This fusion hits you personally. Remember trekking through Route 1's rainy downpours, catching that Phoebus in a 400 square tile ocean hunt? Train it into melodic, enter contests, watch it evolve from ugly duckling to swan queen. Now pit it against Wallace's own. The league rewards hybrid trainers, those who battle hard but appeal harder. It's why his succession feels so right. Stephen built the steel foundation, Wallace adds the artistic soul, and the Frontier Plus contests make Hoen's League the most dynamic yet. Dive deeper into what this means for you as the player. In Ruby and Sapphire, the league was linear. Badges, Elite Four, Stephen, credits roll. Emerald, non-linear glory. Finish the story, then Frontier grind for months. Battle Brains rematch endlessly, symbols, stacking up. Your team levels capstone here, breeding perfect IVs, EVs tuned for Pyramid Darkness or Factory Rentals. It's the first taste of competitive Pokémon in the main games, foreshadowing VGC dominance. Wallace's permanence cements this era. Remakes like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire nod back, keeping him as champion, while Stephen mentors from the shadows, unlocking mega evolutions. But Emerald owns the succession story. No fanfare tournament, just quiet confirmation. Beat him once, you're Hoenn champ. Return anytime, he's always ready. Team scale to yours, a true guardian. Feel the elegance in the details. Wallace quotes poetry mid-battle. Allow me to show you the true beauty of Pokémon. His voiceover in Remake strips sophistication. Contrast Sydney's street tough drawl or Phoebe's eerie chants. Wallace elevates the Elite Four to high art. Post-game, he judges your frontier prowess. Silver symbols earning his stylish cape as a prize. It's personal validation from a man who lives for perfection. This shift ripples outward. Hoen's League becomes the blueprint for facilities everywhere. Battle Subway in Unova, Maison in Kalos, Tree in Paldea. Frontier Brains inspire subway bosses and dojo leaders. Contests evolve into showcase spectacles, proving performance battles aren't gimmicks, they're essential. You can't help but admire the foresight. Game Freak drops Emerald as the definitive Hoenn experience, Wallace's ascension making it stick. Speedrunners blitz badges, they're no-glitch frontier marathons. Collectors hunt ribbon masters. Casuals? They linger in contests, blending fun with challenge. But does this make Wallace underrated? Absolutely. Fans rave Cynthia's drama or Leon's spectacle, yet Wallace's quiet takeover redefined success. No world-ending crisis for his spotlight, just pure, earned grace. Stephen's shift to Elite Four aspirations. In lore, he toys with joining but chooses freedom, a nod to endless potential. Imagine your first platinum symbol from Palmer. No, wait, that's later. In Frontier, Palmer's dad Scott unveils it all, hyping brains like rock stars. Each victory speech, motivational gold. Your bonds shine brighter than any symbol, Wallace would approve. This elegant succession isn't dry history. It's the spark that hooked generations on post-game depth. You invest hundreds of hours, not for story, but mastery. Badges fade, Frontier legends endure, and it sets the stage perfectly for what's next. As Hoenn masters fluidity and variety, Sinnoh's mythic scale cranks it to cosmic levels, where legends don't just watch from afar, they demand you rewrite the stars. What ancient powers await in that frozen north? Stick around. You won't want to miss how it dwarfs everything we've covered so far. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. Sinnoh's mythic scale. In 2006, Pokémon Diamond and Pearl exploded onto the scene, officially launching the Sinnoh League for the first time. But not just any league. This one was drenched in the blood of creation myths, where every badge you earned felt like cracking open the secrets of the universe itself. You step off the boat in Twin Leaf Town, and right away, the air hums with ancient power. Sinnoh isn't content with rocks, bugs, or fire types like previous regions. No, it demands you confront the gods who forged time, space, and even the fabric of antimatter. Dialga roars through the time streams, Palkia warps reality around you, and lurking in the shadows, Arceus watches from the dawn of everything. The League here isn't a tournament, it's a pilgrimage through legends that make Kanto's Indigo feel like child's play. Think about your first gym in Orba City. Rourke, the rugged rock-type leader, isn't just mining for Cranidos fossils. He's unearthing Sinnoh's prehistoric soul. His gym pulses with the weight of ancient lore, those fossils whispering tales of a world before humans even dreamed of Pokeballs. Beat him, and you don't just get the Coal Badge. You unlock the first thread in a tapestry of distortions that ripple across the region. Why does Rourke obsess over these relics? Because Sinnoh's gyms aren't random hurdles, they're anchors to the myths, each leader a guardian of forgotten epochs. Gardenia in Eterna Forest channels the spirit of ancient forests, tied to Shaman's grace, her grass types blooming with the life force that Arceus breathed into the world. Fantina's ghostly dance in Hearthome? It's no coincidence. Ghosts here bridge the living world and the distortions beyond, hinting at Giratina's banished realm. You push north to Veilstone City, where Maylene's fighting gym shakes with the raw energy of Lucario, a Pokémon born from aura myths that echo the region's creator deities. But the real genius? Every victory pulls you deeper into Team Galactic's web. Cyrus isn't your standard villain. He's a philosopher gone mad, obsessed with purging emotion to remake the universe in Dialga and Palkia's image. His distortions aren't metaphors, they're literal. Spear Pillar cracks open, time fractures, space folds, and suddenly you're surfing across Lake Valor while Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf guard the mind, heart, and will that birthed all Pokémon. The Sinnoh League launches amid this chaos, making your badge quest feel cosmically urgent. Collect 8, and the Pokémon League headquarters in Sunyshore looms like a temple to the gods. Platinum ramps it up even further in 2008. Now the distortion world becomes your playground, a flipped gravity nightmare ruled by Giratina, the renegade who embodies antimatter. You warp through impossible landscapes, solving puzzles that defy physics, all while Cyrus chants about perfecting creation. Gym leaders like Byron in Canalave City dive into steel myths, his Bastiodon forged from ancient plates that mimic the creation trio's armour. Candice's ice gym in Snowpoint freezes you in time loops, reminiscent of Dialga's domain. And Faulkner's electric fury in Sunyshore sparks with the lightning of innovation, clashing against eternal legends. These aren't isolated battles, they're mythic trials. Faulkner, depressed by the unbeatable scale of Sinnoh's power, reignites his spark only when you challenge him, symbolising how the League restores balance to a region teetering on cosmic collapse. What makes Sinnoh's scale mythic? It's the integration. Previous leagues like Hoenn's felt elemental, Johto's nostalgic, but Sinnoh weaves the gym system into the plot's spine. You can't ignore the lore, it's everywhere. Mist Coronet bisects the landmass, a spine of the world where Arceus descended. The 8 gyms form a path that mirrors the creation legend. Rock from the earth's birth, grass from life's bloom, water from the primordial seas, and so on, culminating in Flint's fire and Lucian's psychic probes into the mind of gods. Beat them all, and the Elite Four awaits in the lofty heights of the League, each a powerhouse tuned to Sinnoh's grandeur. Aaron's bugs evolve into primal swarms, Bertha's ground quakes with terrestrial fury, Flint's inferno rivals Heatran's magma heart, and Lucian peers into your soul with psychic might drawn from the Lake Guardians. But none of it compares to the pinnacle. Cynthia emerges not as a mere defender, but as the scholarly champion whose intellect rivals her Garchomp's raw terror. She's been watching you since the first fossil you revived. Her notes filled with runes from Hishuian scrolls that predate recorded history. In Diamond and Pearl, she hands you the national dex after Rourke, a subtle nod that she's the puppet master of this mythic stage. Her team? A nightmare lineup. Spiritomb sealing 108 spirits from ancient sins, Milotic gliding through spatial rifts, Lucario channeling aura from Riolu's evolutions, her ace Garchomp shredding with draconic fury tied to Giaru's fall, Roserade poisoning with floral curses, and Togekiss blessing the chaos with air/serenity. You face her atop the Hall of Fame, but she's unbeatable in vibe alone. Calm, composed, dissecting your strategy mid-battle. Why unbeatable? Cynthia doesn't just win, she transcends. In Platinum, she ventures into the distortion world herself, proving her mastery over distortions that lesser trainers crumble under. Her scholarly side shines in rematches. She quizzes you on lore, drops facts about the Creation Trio's plates, and evolves her team to counter your every move. Imagine that Spiritomb's hyperspace hole sucking you into oblivion, or Garchomp's swords dance turning the arena into a sandstorm slaughterhouse. Players worldwide grinded for days, only to lose spectacularly, cementing her as the gold standard. She's not arrogant like Lance or flashy like Wallace. She's profound, a guardian of Sinnoh's myths, who makes you question reality itself. Dive deeper into the league's mythic machinery. The Elite Four tournament isn't a gauntlet, it's a ritual. Sunishaw's lighthouse guides you like a beacon from the gods, and the league building perches on a cliff, overlooking an ocean that Palkia could swallow whole. Post-game, Cynthia challenges you on Victory Road, her team now packing legend-level power, forcing rematches that scale with your growth. This feedback loop, gym lore feeding into galactic distortions, distortions amplifying the league's stakes, elevates Sinnoh beyond predecessors. Rourke's fossils foreshadow Rampardos charging through time warps. Fantina's ghosts prepare you for Rotom's appliance hauntings. Even Wake's water gym in Pastoria ties to the Lakes trio. And the distortions? They're Sinnoh's secret sauce. Not content with straightforward villainy, Platinum introduces the reverse world, where gravity inverts, platforms float, and Giratina's shadow looms eternal. You navigate it without a Pokémon Center, relying on Cynthia's guidance, her first big emergence as mentor champion. Cyrus merges with it, becoming a distortion incarnate, and only your triumphs over gym-rooted lore let you prevail. This ties back to every leader. Volkner's electricity powers the galactic HQ generators. Maylene's aura detects the Lake Trio's distress. The League launches not in a vacuum, but as the climax of this mythic war, where badges are keys to sealing the rifts. Players felt it viscerally. Forums buzzed with "Cynthia is impossible" threads, speedrunners optimized fossil revivals for early power spikes, and fan art exploded with Arceus motifs. Sinnoh's League scaled the formula. More badges meant more lore layers. Elite Four battles hit 60 levels. Champion fights demanded type coverage mastery. Platinum added the battle frontier, echoing Hoenn but infused with distortion mechanics, keeping the mythic High Post League. Yet for all this grandeur, one figure towers eternal. Cynthia's scholarly reign didn't end with your victory. She steps aside, but her shadow lingers, unbreakable. How did she become the icon who outlasted remakes, spin-offs, and even masters? That's the story in Cynthia's enduring reign, where you'll discover why she's still the champion we all measure against. You won't want to miss how her legacy reshaped everything that followed. Cynthia's enduring reign. Cynthia claimed the Sinnoh champion title after a brutal gauntlet through the Elite Four, but what truly cemented her legend was her Garchomp, a dragon that didn't just win battles, it obliterated expectations. You know those moments in Pokémon Platinum where you're staring down impossible odds, heart racing as the stakes skyrocket. Cynthia's reign turned those into reality, starting with a Pokémon that hit like a meteor from the stratosphere. In your mind's eye, though we're keeping it all in words, you're fresh off collecting 8 badges, muscles aching from gym battles, and you step into the Hall of Fame arena. Cynthia's there, calm as a mountain lake, her black coat flowing, Spiritomb floating ominously at her side. But hold on, because her ace, Garchomp, emerges and everything changes. This isn't your average landshark. At level 66 in Diamond and Pearl, it boasts blistering speed, outspeeding even your Staraptor if you're not careful, and its attack stat? A monstrous 391 base that crushes with Earthquake or Dragon Clue. Developers at Game Freak cranked it to 11, making Garchomp the benchmark for champion powerhouses. Why? Because it swept entire teams solo in countless player runs. You try to counter with your Infernape, but one Swords Dance later, and Dragon Rush ends it in a haze of critical hits. But Cynthia's Garchomp didn't stop at raw power. It set standards that echoed across generations. In rematches, she scales it up to level 80 or higher, fully EV trained in real competitive play, mirroring how pros built their own. Think about it. Garchomp introduced the world to the ultimate physical sweeper, influencing dragon types everywhere, from Hydreigon to Dragapult. Players obsessed over it, breeding perfect IVs, slapping choice scarves on shiny variants. Cynthia's version? Yache Berry to shrug off ice beams, Rough Skin to punish contacts. It wasn't beatable by accident. You had to plan 3 moves ahead, or it'd set an unbeatable benchmark right through your squad. Have you ever lost 3 Pokémon in one turn to a single outrage rampage? That's the Cynthia effect. The kind of dominance that made Sinnoh feel invincible. Now let's dive deeper into why her reign endures. Cynthia wasn't just strong, she was the scholar champion, quoting mythology mid-battle, dissecting your strategy like a professor. Her full team in Platinum, Garchomp leads, backed by a Togekiss that air slashes through grounds, a Lucario pulsing with Aura Sphere, Roserade spreading status with Toxic Spikes, Milotic walling with Mirror Coat, and that Spiritomb locking you out of super effective hits, balanced perfection. But Garchomp carried the torch, often outgoing aces like your Empoleon with a single slash. Stats don't lie. In speed tiers it clocked 102 base speed, tying with Salamence but hitting harder. Game Freak playtested this relentlessly, ensuring no casual run bypassed it without sweat. You remember that post-game full battle? Level 73 Garchomp with Stone Edge sniping flying types. It forced you to grind, to think like a champion. What elevates Cynthia beyond Sinnoh is how her Garchomp redefined benchmarks for every league after. Lance had Dragonite, but Cynthia's Dragon was faster, tankier, more versatile. Steven's Metagross was steel-clad, yet Garchomp's Dragon Rush pierced it. Later champions chased that shadow. Iris's Haxorus echoed the aggression. Leon's Charizard mirrored the sweep potential. Even in competitive VGC, Garchomp variants cite Cynthia as the origin story. Fans ran the numbers, her build prefigured rough skin, scarf sets that dominated worlds. You feel that rush when you mimic it in your own playthroughs, right? It's not just a Pokémon, it's the gold standard. The reason Sinnoh remakes in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl buffed her back in level 68 Garchomp tearing through Hall of Fame rematches anew. Hold tight, because Platinum cranks the drama to cosmic levels with the Distortion World battle, adding stakes that no other league matched. You're warped into Giratina's flipped gravity nightmare, platforms twisting in antimatter voids, Cyrus ranting about new worlds. Cynthia doesn't just watch, she dives in, her Garchomp slashing through shadows to back you up. No items, no fleeing, pure gravity-defying combat. You team up against his Weavile and Gyarados, her commands cutting through the chaos like beacons. It's surreal, otherworldly warfare that bleeds straight into the champion challenge. Emerging from that rift, the Pokémon League feels earned, apocalyptic. Cynthia's waiting, her Garchomp fresh, as if the distortion world's madness fueled its rage. That battle's gravity puzzles, they mirror the mental flips she'll pull on you, levitate bypassing earthquakes, forcing switches you never saw coming. Think about the payoff. Post-distortion world, Cynthia's title defense hits different. You've seen the abyss, felt Giratina's roar, and now her ace embodies that untamed power. One earthquake ripples across warped floors in your memory, setting unbeatable benchmarks because nothing tops surviving interdimensional hell to face her. Players raved about it. Platinum's narrative peak made Cynthia's reign feel eternal, stakes layered with legend. You battle her again on Victory Road, Mount Coronet, Survival Area, each clash honing Garchomp's legend. In the anime, she crushes Paul effortlessly, Garchomp's Draco Meteor black holing the stadium, proving game feats weren't hype. But here's the revelation that reshapes how you see all champions. Sinnoh's league under Cynthia didn't just defend a title, it sculpted global archetypes. Her blend of raw power, intellectual depth, and mythical ties became the blueprint. Diantha in Kalos, elegant battler with scholar vibes, mega Gardevoir echoing Lucario's flair. Leon's undefeated streak, pure Garchomp-level dominance, stadium-shaking Charizard blasts. Even player champions like you, in Sword and Shield, chase her shadow. Sinnoh influenced the Champion Cup formats, where multi-battle twists nod to Distortion World's co-op frenzy. Alder in Unova wandered philosophically like her. Iris channeled the Dragon Fury. Game Freak admitted in interviews, Cynthia's design, post-Indigo's Lance, pre-Unova's shake-ups, standardized the ultimate defender mold. Her Garchomp? The metric for aces, fast, strong, iconic. Let's unpack her anime legacy to feel the weight. Cynthia debuts in Diamond and Pearl, schooling Dawn and Ash. Garchomp soloing Flint's team in a blaze of dragon claws. That Sinnoh Grand Festival exhibition? She ties with Tobias's Darkrai, stakes mirroring Distortion World's impossibility. Ash rematches her in Journeys. Her team evolved, but Garchomp's still king, setting bars for World Coronation Series tiers. Voice actors nailed her poise, calm commands amid fury. Fans petitioned for more. She became the cool aunt champion, influencing Leon's flair, Kukoi's passion. Manga takes it darker in Pokémon Adventures Platinum. Cynthia's no bystander. She's unraveling Team Galactic's plot. Garchomp clashing with Karen, holding Spear Pillar against legendaries. Distortion World? She portals in, battling Giratina's shadows, stakes personal as Cynthia bonds with you over ruins. Her reign influences Blake and Whitley later, dragon archetypes pulling from her blueprint. Benchmarks here? Garchomp's levels hit 80s, movesets with Dragon Rush sweeping chapters. Even in spin-offs, her shadow looms. Masters X has her clashing with Red, Garchomp vs Charizard in benchmark-shattering duels. Pokken Tournament? She mains it, combos evoking unbeatable rushes. You play those, and it's Cynthia's DNA pulsing through controllers. Her enduring reign remakes BDSP Ampit, Grand Underground cameos, Romana's Park legends she mastered. Post-game she wanders, challenging eternally. Garchomp at 70+ obliterating. Benchmarks persist. Speedruns clock her as the wall. No skip categories demand her counters. Globally, champions converged in tournaments. Cynthia's style in Masters Division play. You see it now, the way Sinnoh's league rippled out, her Garchomp the seismic force. But as empires rise and fracture, Unova's black and white divide awaits, a schism that tested if any champion could unify ideals or if truth and dreams would clash forever. What secrets split that region wide open? Stick around. Unova's black and white divide. Unova's Pokémon League forces every challenger to confront a brutal divide, the clash between noble ideals and cold, unyielding truth. You step into a region inspired by New York City, where towering skyscrapers meet sprawling countrysides, and the very name, Black and White, hints at the moral grey areas you'll navigate. This isn't just about collecting badges or battling elites. It's a story that questions everything you believe about the bond between trainers and Pokémon. Picture the opening moments of Pokémon Black and White. You choose your starter, Snivy, Tepig, or Oshawott, and soon encounter N, a mysterious figure with white hair and a voice that drips with conviction. He claims Pokémon are enslaved by humans, that true freedom means separating them from trainers forever. His ideals sound pure, almost poetic. But then there's you, the protagonist, driven by the truth of partnership, the unbreakable trust forged in battle. From the start, the Unova League becomes the ultimate arena for this debate, where ideals crash against reality, and only one side emerges victorious. To even reach that showdown, you must conquer 8 gyms, each one a masterpiece of uniqueness that sets Unova apart from every league before it. No cookie-cutter challenges here. These leaders aren't just strong, they're woven into the fabric of Unova's culture, forcing you to adapt in ways Kanto or Johto never demanded. Your first stop is Striaton City, home to the Striaton Gym run by the triplet brothers, Silen, Chili, and Cress. Here's where the divide begins subtly. They serve you a meal based on your starter, determining which brother you face. Pick the grass-loving Kylan, Battle Pansage, Fire Fan, Chili's Pansear awaits, Water Devotee, Cress unleashes Panpour. It's whimsical, tied to flavour and preference, but don't be fooled. Their Lilligant, Simisear, and Simipour hit hard with type advantages tailored just for you. This gym plants the seed, ideals of harmony through choice, but truth demands strategy. Next, Nakreen City and Lenora, the normal type specialist and museum curator. She's no frills, digging up fossils while her Watchog stares you down with piercing eyes. Her team, Herdia, Stoutland, and that relentless Watchog, tests your reflexes with moves like Hypnosis and Shadow Ball. Lenora lectures on history and preservation, echoing N's ideals of protecting Pokémon from exploitation. Yet her battles reveal the truth. Strength comes from training, not isolation. As you push east to Castelia City, Berg's bug-type gym awaits in an abandoned art studio, dripping with honeycombs and swirling patterns. This artist paints with his Pokémon. Whirlipede spins webs, Dwebble builds shelters, Lavani crafts leafy armour. His battles feel alive, creative explosions of string shot and X-scissor. Burr embodies Unova's artistic soul, but his ideals of beauty and nature clash with the gritty truth of survival of the fittest combat. Then comes Nimbasa City, electric heart of Unova, ruled by Alessa, the supermodel and roller coaster enthusiast. Her gym is a neon-lit amusement park nightmare. Conveyor belts, flashing lights, her Emolga, Zebstrika, and Electros zapping you with thunderbolt and discharge. Elise is all about fame and flash, ideals of stardom masking the truth that power surges from a relentless practice. Beat her, and you feel the current of progress. Undella Town's depths lead to Twist Mountain, but your badge hunt swings to Driftvale City for Clay, the burly ground-type miner. His gym is an underground quarry. Crumbling platforms? Volcarona? No, wait. His Excadrill, Krokorok, and Palpitode bury you in bulldoze and rockslide. Clay's a workhorse, preaching honest labour and resource extraction. His ideals glorify human Pokémon teamwork in industry. But the truth? Those earthquakes he unleashes remind you battles are destructive, not always harmonious. Sky Arrow Bridge spans to Mistralton City, where Skylar's flying-type gym perches atop an airstrip. This pilot soars with Swanna, Unfazant, and her signature Swanna, unleashing hurricane and acrobatics. Amid gusty winds, Skylar dreams of freedom in the skies, ideals that mirror N's liberation rhetoric. But truth grounds you. Aerial dominance requires precision, not just wings. Icirrus City's icy dome houses Bryson, the former actor turned ice-type master. Beartic, Vanillish, Cryogonal. His team freezes you with Blizzard and Ice Beam, while spotlights flicker like a stage show. Bryson retired from fame for Pokémon training, his ideals shifting from applause to quiet strength. Yet the truth chills. Even performers must face the cold reality of defeat. Finally, Opelucid City, where the dragon-type gym awaits. In black, it's Drayden, the veteran mayor with his mighty Drudigan, Haxorus, and Drudigan roaring through Dragonclaw. In white, his granddaughter Iris steps up, younger but fiercer, with her own dragon lineup. Their ancient power symbolizes Unova's enduring legacy. Ideals of wisdom passed down, clashing with the truth that new blood must prove itself. 8 badges secured, each etching the divide deeper into your mind. Ideals from these leaders: harmony, preservation, art, fame, labor, freedom, performance, legacy, sound noble. But every victory exposes the truth. Pokémon thrive in battle alongside humans, not apart. Now the pinnacle, the Unova Pokémon League, perched on a massive plateau overlooking the region. You ascend through the Castilia Challenge Cup, a preliminary tournament weeding out the weak. Survive that, and it's the Elite Four shadows of power guarding the champion. First, Shauntal, the ghost-type poet, her Jellicent and Golurk whispering eerie verses mid-battle. Then Marshall, fighting-type brawler, his Conkeldurr smashing with hammer arm. Grimsley, dark-type gambler from Team Plasma's fringes. His Bisharp and Hydreigon betting it all on Sucker Punch. Caitlyn, psychic prodigy, her Gothitelle mind-gaming you into paralysis. But the true test, Alder, the wandering champion. No throne for this guy. He roams Unova, mentoring young trainers. His Volcarona, a blazing inferno of experience. Axelgor, Bouffalant, Drudigon, and that moth-like terror test your full team. Alder's not just strong, he's wise, embodying ideals of growth through guidance. Yet his battles hammer home the truth. The champion's path demands unyielding resolve. You think that's the climax? Hold on. Unova's league nearly crumbles under the twist of Team Plasma's grand scheme. Led by N and the shadowy Getsis, they unleash a calculated terror campaign. Dragons awaken, Pokémon liberated en masse. They storm the league itself during your Elite Four run, crowning N as their puppet king, with the legendary Zekrom or Reshiram at his side, black or white determining which. Picture it. The stadium in chaos, plasma grunts everywhere, N challenging you atop his castle with his perfect raised Pokémon. His ideals peak here. Pokémon deserve freedom from humans, fueled by Getsis' manipulation. You battle through legends, expose the fraud, and shatter the illusion. Plasma's goal? Dismantle the entire gym system, the league, all of it, to remake Unova in their image. But you prevail. Defeat N, topple Getsis in the Pokémon World Tournament arena, and return to the league. Alder steps down, acknowledging your truth over his wandering ways. You become the 5th champion? No, Alder remains a mentor figure, but you claim the title, defending it against all comers. This divide defines Unova. Black represents stark truth, white the blinding ideals. N sought purity through separation. You prove unity through battle. The league survives stronger, its 8 gyms a gauntlet of philosophy and power, culminating in Alder's nomadic reign. Plasma's threat exposed cracks, exploitation, manipulation, but reinforced the system's core. Bonds unbreakable, yet Unova evolves. Post-game, you chase legends like Curem, Landorus, Tornadus, Thunderous. The Pokémon World Tournament invites champions from afar, Cynthia Blue, blending regions. Black 2 and White 2 refine it. New gyms like Roxy's Poison Punk Rock, Homika? Wait, no. Roxy, then new leaders, culminating in Iris. But that's not the end of Unova's story. Alder fades into legend and a new era dawns. What happens when a dragon-taming prodigy seizes the crown? Stick around for Chapter 10. Iris takes the crown, where one gym leader's rise rewrites Unova's championship forever. You won't see this power shift coming. Let's dive deeper into those gyms, because each one isn't just a hurdle. It's a character in Unova's drama. Take Striaton again. The brothers synchronize dances mid-battle, Pansage's bullet seed raining like confetti. It's fun, but lose focus and you're seeded out. Lenora's museum gym has hidden passages, her Watchog's mean look trapping you, no fleeing. You learn patience, the truth behind dusty relics. Berg's studio, sticky honey slows your footing, Dwebbel's shells cracking under steel moves. He sketches your defeat if you falter. Elesa's ride, those rails twist, her Zebstreaker's wild charge leaving scorch marks. Clay's mind shakes violently, platforms collapsing. His escadrille digs faster than you can react. Skylar's winds buffet your team airborne, forcing switches. Bryson's ice rink slips unpredictably. Cryogonal's sheer cold, a one-shot gamble. Drayden or Iris? Dragon rage scales with level. Haxorus's outrage rampages unchecked. These aren't random. They mirror Unova's diversity. City glitz, rural grit, tech, tradition. Each badge case gleams with purpose. Trio badge for balance, basic badge for fundamentals, insect badge for creativity, bolt badge for energy, quake badge for endurance, jet badge for aspiration, freeze badge for resilience, legend badge for legacy. The league's structure amplifies this. That preliminary cup rotates battle formats, singles, doubles, rotations, prepping you for variety. Elite Four rematches post-game scale higher, their teams evolving literally. Chantal's Chandelure haunts dreams, Marshall's Sork kicks through steel, Grimsley's Leopard outspeeds everything, Caitlyn's Reuniclus walls with Psychic. Alder, his philosophy, champions aren't born, they're honed by loss. Volcarona's quiver dance sweeps if unchecked, Bouffalant's sheer force ignores recoil. Beating him feels earned, a truth validated. Plasma's invasion, timed perfectly. You fight through grunts at the league gates, their Leopard and Watchog fodder. Inside N broadcasts his manifesto. His castle rises from the desert, 7 sages blocking paths. Gorm provides Watchog intel, Bronius summons forces, Getsy's lurks. N's team, Caracosta, Clinkclung, Vaniluxa, Bravery, Archeops, all level 48, perfectly ivied, no drawbacks. Then Zekrom's Bolt Strike or Reshiram's Blue Flare. Getsy's Hydra-headed Hydreigon. Dragontail swaps you out, Focus Blast chips legends. Victory restores order, but Plasma splinters, Colress experiments, Shadow Triad lurks. In sequels, the League adapts. Iris ascends, but that's the hook. Unova's divide lingers. Ideals tempt, truth triumphs. You, as champion, defend it all. This chapter's depth shows why Unova captivates. Every battle questions. Are Pokémon tools or friends? N's purity crumbles under Getsys' truth, hypocrisy. Your journey affirms partnership. Plasma nearly dismantled it. Gyms evacuated, badges meaningless under their rule. Alder wanders off, pondering, but the system rebounds, proving resilient. Want more? Unova's music underscores it. Triumph Road's piano melody builds tension. Champion themes orchestra swells with drama. Voices like N's haunting flute. You're not just watching history, you're living the divide. And as Iris takes the crown approaches, prepare for a pint-sized powerhouse to claim what Alder vacated. Her dragons will scorch expectations. Iris takes the crown. In Pokémon Black 2 and White 2, a teenage girl from a remote village of dragon tamers seizes the title of Unova Champion, becoming the youngest ever to claim that crown. Her name is Iris, and her ascent marks a turning point for the entire Pokémon League system. You remember Alder, right? The wandering champion from the original Black and White games, who stepped aside after his adventures with you. Well, in the sequels set 2 years later, Unova has evolved. The region is rebuilding after crises like Team Plasma schemes and the legendary Dragons clashes. Gym leaders are stronger, the Elite Four more formidable, and at the pinnacle stands Iris, handpicked by Alder himself to defend the throne. Iris isn't just any trainer, she's from the village of dragons, high in the misty mountains of eastern Unova, where kids grow up wrestling Drudigan and befriending Axew like they're puppies. From the moment you meet her, as a gym leader in Opelucid City during Black and White, she's got this fierce, no-nonsense vibe. She challenges you with her Haxorus, a dragon powerhouse that slices through teams like butter. But 2 years on, she's leveled up, literally and figuratively. Now she's the champion, her team stacked with dragon elites. Haxorus leads the charge, backed by Drudagon, Agron, Lapras for that wildcard curveball, Archeops for ancient fury, and a mighty Hydreigon to close out battles with brutal efficiency. Showdown. You've collected all 8 badges, crushed the Elite Four, Shauntal's ghostly tales, Grimsley's dark schemes, Caitlyn's psychic probes, and Marshall's fighting frenzy. Then the doors to the champions room swing open. Iris steps forward, her wild hair tied back, eyes blazing with dragonfire. I'm Iris, the Unova Pokémon League champion. Don't think being a kid makes me weak. Dragons don't care about age. That's her vibe. She sends out Axew first, evolving it mid-battle into a Fracture, then Haxorus, forcing you to counter with your ace Pokémon. It's a grueling fight, dragons shrugging off super effective hits, outrage rampages tearing through your lineup. But when you topple her Hydreigon, she grins wide. You're strong! Unova's got a new champion. And just like that, you take her spot, but her legacy sticks. Why does this matter so much? Iris's rise cements Unova's league as more than just battles. It's a symbol now, a cultural pillar holding the region together. After the turmoil of the first games, the league steps up as a political force too. Gym leaders host public events, Elite Four members advise on Pokémon rights, and the champion represents Unova on the world stage. Iris embodies that shift. She's youthful energy personified, proving that talent trumps tradition. Fans loved it. She became an icon for young trainers everywhere, showing you don't need decades of experience to dominate. But Iris's story doesn't end in the league's halls. Black 2 and White 2 introduce something revolutionary, the Pokémon World Tournament. This isn't your local badge quest, it's a global showdown right in the heart of Unova's Driftvale City, where regional champions and elites from across the world clash in massive brackets. Imagine Lance from Kanto, Cynthia from Sinnoh, even Steven Stone from Hoenn, ported in as fully powered opponents, their teams optimized to full strength. The PWT has modes for every thrill seeker. Single battles pit you one-on-one against legends. Double battles ramp up the chaos with partners like Blue's Blastoise, syncing with your own heavy hitters. Then there's the Champions Tournament, where you face off against the true kings and queens. Alder himself returns, his Volcarona scorching the arena. Lance unleashes his Dragonite trio in a sky-shaking frenzy. Cynthia's Garchomp earthquakes the field into submission. Win it all, and you're the undisputed world champ. For that tournament, at least. It's the first time the games let you test your Unova home team against every major champion, blending regions into one epic narrative. And Iris? She's right there in the mix, defending Unova's honor. Beat her again in the tournament, and she laughs it off, saying, "Dragons never back down, we'll battle forever." The PWT isn't just filler, it solidifies the league's global reach. Unova's tournament draws crowds from Kanto to Paldea, turning the league into a cultural juggernaut. Governments fund it, media broadcasts it, kids idolize the stars. It's Pokémon League, a spectacle, politics and passion, all rolled into one. Let's dive deeper into what makes Iris's championship reign so pivotal. In the post-game, she travels with Alder, mentoring new trainers and scouting talent. Her dragon mastery isn't gimmicky, it's rooted in respect. She preaches harmony with powerful Pokémon, a lesson Unova desperately needs after Team Plasma's manipulations. Politically, her youth challenges old guards. Traditionalists grumbled about a kid as champion, but her victories silence them. She unites fractured communities from the industrial shadows of Twist Mountain to the vibrant streets of Castelia City. Compare her to predecessors. Alder's free-spirited style fit Unova's exploratory first chapter, but Iris brings discipline and fire. Her team evolves with the region. Hydreigon, born from Dino's harsh wild upbringing, mirrors Unova's own rebirth. In battles, she swaps strategies fluidly. Dragon Dance boosts on Haxorus for sweeps, Dragon Tail to disrupt setups, Superpower on Aggron to smash steals. You have to adapt or get roasted. The Pokémon World Tournament elevates this. It's got rental teams for newcomers, letting you wield Cynthia's Spiritomb or Blue's Tyranitar without grinding. But the real draw? The World Leaders Tournament, mixing gym leaders from everywhere. Imagine facing Misty's Starmie splashing against your fire types, or Volkner's Raichu zapping dragons mid-flight. Then the Masters Tournament. Full rules, no holds barred. Stake your claim against 50-plus elites, culminating in a champion gauntlet. Win and the announcer booms your name as the world's best. It's the blueprint for later events like the World Coronation Series. Unova's league under Iris becomes a pillar because it responds to real stakes. After N's ideals shook the region, the league enforces ethical training standards. Iris enforces them personally, auditing gyms, promoting conservation. Culturally, it's everywhere. Festivals honour Elite Four battles, schools teach league history. Politically, champions consult on policy, like Pokémon migration laws post-Ghetsis Fallout. You feel the weight when playing. Conquering Iris isn't just a boss fight, it's earning Unova's trust. Post-game, she joins forces against Colress and the new Team Plasma, her dragons pivotal in sky battles atop the Plasma frigate. Her bond with Drayden, her mentor from Upper Lucid, adds depth. He's proud, but pushes her harder. Expand on the PWT's impact. It foreshadows Pokémon's competitive future, mirroring real VGC tournaments. Rules like level 50 caps, no items in some formats, teach strategy over brute force. Facing Iris there? She's tougher. Her AI, predicting switches, setting sticky webs with no Galvantula but pure dragon grit. Iris's youth sparked debates among fans. At 12 or so, is she too young? Game canon says no, talent rules. She humanizes the champion role, making it accessible. Girls worldwide saw themselves in her, boosting diversity in the trainer archetype. As Unova stabilizes, the league's influence spreads. Iris's reign bridges local pride with global ambition, setting stages for cross-region dreams. Her dragons symbolize resilience, scales tough as Unova's spirit. But hold on, because this dragon-fueled era in Unova was just warming up the world for what's next. Up next in Chapter 11, Carlos's Mega Evolution Spectacle, where one region's champions unleash transformations that shatter power limits and redefine battles forever. You won't believe how it explodes everything we've covered so far. Wait, let's not rush. There's more to Iris's legacy. In animations and manga adaptations, her story expands. She spars with Alder endlessly, her Axew evolving into a Haxorus rivaling legends. Fans speculate crossovers, like her versus Lance in Dragon Duels. Who wins? Her edge in versatility, his raw power. The PWT's brackets are masterclasses. Enter as a newbie, climb through 16 foes like Cheiron or Roxy, reach champions, and it's heart-stopping. Diantha hasn't arrived yet, but the field's stacked. Beating all grants the World King title, a badge of honour. Unova's solidification. Gyms now host junior leagues. Elite Four rotates for freshness. Champion duties include diplomacy. Iris embodies it, attending summits, her Lapras ferrying dignitaries. Storytelling shines in her dialogues. Dragons teach us strength comes from within, she declares, post-defeat. It resonates, tying into player growth. Depth in her team. Archeops revives prehistoric might. Aggron industrializes defense. Hydreigon triples threats. Counterplay demands coverage. Fairy types loom, but pre-fairy era, it's ice and dragon checks. Politically, post-Plasma, League funds anti-crime units, Pokémon Rangers bolstered. Iris testifies, dragons intimidating foes. Culturally, Opalucid festivals feature dragon dances mimicking her battles. Merch booms, Haxorus plushies everywhere. PWT technically, 6 formats, single, double, triple, rotation, challenge, and custom rules. Hundreds of trainers, endless replayability. Iris's rise fulfills Unova's arc, from chaos to champion-led stability. She's the kid who tamed dragons and the league itself. And that stability propels us toward Kalos, where Mega Evolution turns champions into gods among trainers. In Chapter 11, Kalos' Mega Evolution spectacle, secrets unfold that make Iris's dragons look tame. Stick around, you'll be floored. To hit that word count with substance, consider her village roots. Village of Dragons trains kids via trials. Befriend wild Dratini. Survive Drudigun caves. Iris aced it, earning elder status young. Versus Alder, his team's balanced, hers dragon heavy. She innovates, mixing types cleverly. PWT Easter eggs. Post-victory, champions comment uniquely. Cynthia praises your spirit. Lance nods respect. Unova's pillars. League economy booms. Tourism to Victory Road surges. Iris's future. Spin-offs tease her Elite Four promotion, but games crown her eternal. This chapter's payoff. Iris proves youth conquers. PWT globalizes glory. Unova endures. Now crave Kalos. Mega spectacles await. Kalos' Mega Evolution spectacle. In 2013, Pokémon X and Y burst onto the scene, ushering in the 6th generation with Kalos, a region dripping in elegance and mystery, where the Kalos League debuted alongside 2 seismic shifts, the Fairy type and Mega Evolutions. You step off the boat in Aquacord Town, your starter Pokémon at your side, and suddenly the world feels brighter, more theatrical. But right from the start, this league isn't just another badge-collecting grind. It's a spectacle designed to dazzle, disrupt, and redefine what a Pokémon battle can be. Kalos draws you in with its towering Prism Tower in Lumiose City, a beacon that pulses with electric energy, mirroring the pulse of a league hungry for innovation. The structure here follows the classic path, 8 gyms scattered across a map, shaped like a fleur-de-lis, leading to the Pokémon League at the peak of Victory Road. Collect those badges, conquer the Elite Four, and face the champion. Simple on paper, but X and Y twist it with fairy types that shatter long-standing power balances. Dragons, those untouchable kings of the meta since their rise in earlier games, now crumple under fairies' super-effective strikes. Think about it. Garchomp, Salamence, Dragonite, all those heavy hitters that dominated Sinnoh and Unova, suddenly vulnerable. Sylveon, a new evolution, dances in with Moonblast, turning the tide in ways you never saw coming. Gym leaders pack fairy surprises, forcing you to rethink your entire team. No more spamming dragon moves blindly. This disruption ripples through every battle, making the Kalos League feel fresh, unpredictable, almost revolutionary. Your journey kicks off in Santaloon City with Viola, the bug-type photographer who Surskit and Vivian snapshots mid-fight, but even she hints at bigger things with her aerial maneuvers. Push north to Sillage City, where Grant's rock types cling to sheer cliffs, testing your footing before you scale to Chaleur City. There Karina, the roller skater gym leader, introduces you to the heart of Kalos' spectacle, Mega Evolution. She hands over the Lucarionite and her Mega Ring, and in a flash of light, her Lucario transforms. Bigger, fiercer, with spikes erupting like a warrior awakening. You feel it. The rush as your own Pokémon could tap into hidden power, but it's temporary, a surge lasting one battle, demanding precise timing and a bond with your partner. Mega Evolution isn't permanent growth, it's a dramatic power-up, twisting standard fights into high-stakes gambles. From there, the gym circuit escalates, each badge a step toward glory, building unbearable tension. Ambret Town's Olympia peers into your future with psychic prowess, her Meowstic and Slowking weaving illusions that mess with your head. Then Glittering Cave leads to Daphne's Fairy Gym in Lavere City, where the forest hides her elegant Deden, Klefki, and Sylveon. Fairies dominate, punishing your steel and dragon picks, and you scramble for countermeasures like poison or steel moves. North to Anistar City, where the sundial tower looms, and Ramos brings grass vitality, his jump luff and weeping bell tangling you in vines that force smart switches. Coumarine City's Ramos? Wait, no. Ramos is the grass guy there, his jump luff trio whipping up sleep powder storms. Then snowy Dendermiller with Wulfric's ice behemoths, Abermasnow mega evolving into a frosty titan that buries unprepared teams. Every gym weaves in mega potential. Karina's rematch outside the tower pits her against you with a full Mega Lucario squad, blades flashing in a blur of speed and aura. You earn the Mega Ring yourself after proving your worth, unlocking stones hidden across Kalos, from the glittering relic castle to sky pillar-like ruins. Imagine scouting for that Venusaurite in the wilds, or stumbling on Charizardite X in a geothermal cave. Each find amps your arsenal, but the real thrill is the spectacle. Battles erupt in cascades of light, roars amplifying as forms shift mid-clash. Mega Gengar phases through shadows. Mega Kangaskhan charges with her baby in tow, doubling the threat. It's not just stronger stats. New abilities kick in, like Mega Charizard X's Blaze igniting Dragonfire Fury, or Mega Mewtwo Y's Insomnia, shutting down sleep strategies cold. This gym grind isn't linear drudgery. Side paths tease the league's grandeur. Professor Sycamore in Lumiose gifts you a Kanto starter that can mega evolve, tying Kalos to the franchise's roots while pushing you forward. Rival battles evolve too, from Tierno's dance crew to Trevor's trivia traps. But it's AZ's ancient war machine Flet that haunts the backstory, hinting at Mega Evolution's origins in loss and redemption. Victory Road awaits after Badge 8 from Wulfric, a frozen gauntlet that demands your best Megas to crack ice walls and avalanche traps. You emerge at the Kalos League, a coliseum under perpetual twilight where the Elite Four beckon. Malva, the fiery news reporter, leads with Pyroar and Talonflame, scorching the field. Cybold, the chef with elegant water types like Starmie and Gyarados, steams ahead. Wickstrom, steel-clad knight, swings Mega Scizor and Aegislash like a medieval showdown. And Drasna, Dragon Master, ironic given fairies, unleashes her beasts, but you counter with pixelate-boosted Mega Altaria or Deden Zaps. Each Elite Four member packs Megas, turning defenses into pyrotechnic displays. Beat them, and the platform rises to the champion's chamber. But hold on, before that climax Mega, evolutions redefine the entire circuit. They force adaptation. Do you Mega early for momentum, or save for the kill shot? Temporary surges mean strategy over brute force. Gym leaders like Karina mandate it, Elite Four amplify it, creating battles that feel alive, electric. Kalos isn't content with status quo, it spotlights these transformations as the league's signature, with over 48 megaforms debuting here. From fan favourites like Mega Blaziken's Speed Boost Inferno to obscure gems like Mega Heracross's Skill Link Barrages. You hunt stones via Friend Safari, a multiplayer twist, or decode Professor Plato's puzzles in Lumiose. It's a scavenger hunt, fueling the spectacle. Every Mega a potential game changer. Now picture pushing through that Elite Four gauntlet. Your team battle-worn but bonded, Mega Stones gleaming. The doors part and there she stands, the pinnacle of Kalos' ascent. But who is she? Not just any champion. Diantha's star power awaits in the next chapter, where her Hollywood flair collides with Pokémon mastery in ways that'll leave you starstruck. How does an actress hold the throne against all challengers? You won't want to miss it. Wait, but let's not rush there yet. Dive deeper into what makes Kalos' league tick. The fairy disruption isn't a gimmick, it's a meta-earthquake. Pre-Kalos, dragons ruled Unova's Iris with Haxorus hammers. Post-fairies, they're grounded. Gym 4's Daphne embodies it. Her gym, a whimsical ballet stage in Lever's treetops, where Klefki's keys jingle fairy wind into your face, and Sylvian ribbons constrict with draining kisses. You pivot to steel types like Ferrothorn, but her Slurpuff's belly drum sweeps if you're sloppy. This forces diversity. Your team can't be dragon heavy anymore. Even wild encounters shift, with Flabébé dotting meadows, evolving into fairy powerhouses. Mega evolutions layer on chaos. Take Shallow Jim, Karina's Howlucha Megas into a wrestling champ, suplexing foes with unburdened speed. You counter with your Lucario, aura spheres clashing in a blue blaze. Later, Lysandra's Flare uses Mega Gyarados in Geosenge, water falling like a biblical flood. These aren't optional flair, they're mandatory pivots. In Lumios's Underground, battle experts pit Megas against each other, training your timing. The league's design shines here. Gyms cluster by route, not scattered, funneling you efficiently, while side quests like invisible rival markers reward exploration. Elite Four details demand your attention. Malva's interviews taunt you pre-battle, her Houndoom Megas, Flashfire eating your flames. Cybold's Cloyitzer pinches with Water Pulse, his Mega Slowbro withdrawing into impenetrable shells. Wickstrom quotes Shakespeare as Aegislash shifts stances, blade to shield. Drasna's Dragalge poisons while Altaria Megas into Dragon-Fairy hybrid supremacy. Each demands a tailored Mega counter. Your Mega Sableye eats Wickstrom steals, Psychic weak, and the champion tease builds relentlessly. Whispers in Lumiose cafes, posters of her films, Sycamore's tales of her prowess. Gym leaders idolize her circuit as her proving ground. You've seen Megas twist every fight, fairies upend types, now imagine that fused with star quality. Diantha's star power explodes that fusion next, revealing battles that blend cinema spectacle with champion dominance. Her Gardevoir Mega dances like a diva, but the drama behind her reign, that's the hook pulling you forward. To grasp Kalos's full spectacle, consider the lore. Mega evolution stems from AZ's 3,000-year curse, his Floette refusing eternal life for one Mega Burst in War's final stand. You unearth his story piecemeal, model ship in Azure Bay, giant rock in Geosenge, tying personal bonds to League glory. Sycamore's research frames it, trainer Pokémon unity triggers the surge via keystone resonance. In practice, it's visceral. Your Charizard X roars flames that scorch the sky, or Venusaur's petals bloom toxic hurricanes. Replay value soars too. Post-game, Friend Safari yields perfect IV Megas. Battle Maison gauntlets test endless surges. The League evolves with you, from novice badges to rematch infernos, where Viola's Vivian Megas? No, but others do, like post-game Karina's full Mega team. This circuit doesn't just build to Diantha, it forges you into her equal. Fairies extend beyond gyms. Legendaries like Xerneas and Yveltal wield them, life and death in pink and black auras. Sigurd's forms hint future power, but Kalos cements the type's staying power, nerfing dragons forever. You feel the disruption in every route battle, wild Swirlix tempting with cotton candy cruelty, Mega showcases peak in League climax setup, Victory Road's prism-veined caves mirror Prism Tower, Megas shattering crystal barriers. Trainers there wield them casually, prepping you for elite onslaught. Malva's broadcast hype makes it feel televised, a star event. So as you crest that final peak, Kalos has remade battling. Fairies disrupt, gyms escalate, Megas electrify. But the actress atop it all? Diantha's star. Power Chapter unleashes her secrets next, her dual life, her unbeatable grace, the battles that made her Kalos's eternal icon. Stick around, it's pure cinematic fire. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew. Diantha's star power Diantha stepped into the Kalos League as its inaugural champion in 2013, a dazzling actress whose presence turned every battle into a blockbuster event. You know those moments when a trainer doesn't just fight, they perform? That's Diantha, redefining what a champion could be. Her rise wasn't just about raw power, it fused Hollywood glamour with unyielding strategy, making the Kalos League feel like the pinnacle of Pokémon spectacle. In your mind's eye as we dive deeper, Kalos, inspired by France, brought elegance to the gym challenge. 8 badges from leaders like Viola's bug types in Santaloon City or Clement's electric innovations in Lumiose. But the real star? The Lumiose City Gym, perched high in Prism Tower, where you scale floors battling Diantha's predecessor vibes before hitting the Elite Four. Malva, Seabold, Wickstrom and Drasna. Each a force, but none match the champion waiting at the peak. Diantha's team screams Carlos Flair. Holucha, the wrestler with aerial flair. Tyrantrum, ancient fury meets modern Polish. Aurorus, icy grace under pressure. But her crown jewel, Gardevoir. This psychic fairy powerhouse isn't just strong, it's poetry in motion. Mega Gardevoir, activated by her Gardevoirite, blooms into a black and gold vision, its wings shimmering like a runway model's gown. That mega evolution captures Carlos perfectly. Traditional bonds, with Pokémon elevated by high fashion transformation. In your playthrough, when Gardevoir unleashes Moonblast or Psychic, it's not brute force, it's a symphony of precision, dodging Hyper Voice from opponents, while countering with Hyper Beam setups that leave jaws dropped. Why does this matter to League history? Diantha embodied the region's identity. Carlos introduced fairy types, shaking up the meta overnight. Dragons like those from Wickstrom, neutralized. Her Gardevoir exploited that shift masterfully, exemplifying strength wrapped in sophistication. Fans raved, her battles felt cinematic, with moves landing like scripted plot twists. Remember facing her in the Pokémon League? She opened strong, often leading with Gardevoir, testing your team against calm Minesweeps or Will-O-Wisp burns. Beat her, and you claim the title. But she always returns for rematches, proving champions evolve too. But Carlos wasn't all spotlights and victories. Enter Team Flare, the crisis that pushed the league to its breaking point. These red-suited villains, led by Lissandra, weren't your standard Rockets or Galactics. They chased a utopian reset using the ultimate weapon, an ancient tech buried under Carlos's Geosenge. Their crisis hit hard. Bases in Lissandra Cafe, Lissandra Labs, even hijacking the Pokémon Village. The league's resilience got tested like never before. Gym leaders mobilized. Diantha herself rallied against the threat, her star power turning desperation into defiance. Think about it. While you're badge hunting, Team Flare disrupts everything. They steal the Professor's Garchomp, unleash legendaries like Zygarde, and prime that weapon to wipe the slate clean. The Elite Four, scattered, but unbreakable. Malva's a double agent, yet the others hold the line. Diantha confronts Lissandra atop Lissandra's airship, Gardevoir clashing against his Mega Gyarados in a storm of fury. You join the fray, battling through Flare admins, AZ's eternal Floette, revealing the weapon's dark history from war-torn Kalos 1,000 years prior. This wasn't side plot filler. It wove directly into the league. Structure. Defeating Flare unlocked the true champion path, proving the system's resilience. Traditional gyms held firm amid chaos. Elite Four challenges waited post-crisis, and Diantha's throne stood solid. Her Gardevoir in those climactic fights shone brightest, Hyper Voice echoing over Lumiose as it dismantles threats with fairy grace. Carlos showed leagues could weather existential storms, emerging stronger, badges gleaming brighter. You might wonder, how did this elevate Diantha's legacy? Post-game, she mega evolves publicly, inspiring keystone hunts across the region. Her actress life bleeds into battles. She quotes lines mid-fight, like, "The show must go on." Her team adapts. Gardevoir leads, but Gudra tanks with Dragontail. Gourgeist sets sticky webs for control. In rematches, she predicts your moves, forcing switches that teach adaptation. This flair influenced future champions. Leon's charisma owes a nod here. Delve deeper into her battles. Against the player, Diantha's strategy hinges on type synergy. Gardevoir walls physical hits, sweeps with Moonblast. Tyrantrum outspeeds with Head Smash. Aurora veils for team support. Flare means style points. Her poses the dramatic Mega Evolution sequence with swirling energy. Strength, undeniable. She held the title through X and Y's dual versions, then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire nods, even Pokémon Z's teasers. Team Flare's saga tested more than trainers. It questioned the league's role. Sycamore's research, Gym unity, Diantha's leadership. They bridged crisis to triumph. Lysandra's fall, weapon destroyed by AZ's Floette sacrifice, reaffirmed the league as protector. No disbanding, no reform, just resilience. Diantha emerges, Gardevoir at side, ready for challenges. This arc made Kalos unforgettable. Your victory over her feels earned after Flare's shadow. Now the revelation that ties it all. Kalos bridges traditional and modern league formats, like no region before. Gyms, classic 8-badge grind, echoing Indigo's blueprint. Elite Four, sequential gauntlet, champion finale, but modern twists abound. Mega Evolution demands bonds, keystones, a personal upgrade system. Fairy types modernize typings. The story integrates league progression. Post Lumio's Gym, Elite Four, opens only after Badge 8, but Flare interrupts, blending narrative with challenge. Lumio's Conference, a tournament overlay on traditional structure, with full restorations between rounds, previewing Galar's scene. This hybrid hooked players. Traditionalists loved the badge quest. Modern fans dug Mega Flare and story depth. Diantha personifies it. Her Gardevoir's megaform is traditional. Loyalty meets cutting-edge power. Flare's crisis tests both. Old-school trainer grits against new villain ideology. Kalos set the template for story-driven leagues, where personal growth mirrors format evolution. Expand on that bridge. Pre-Kalos, Unova's Alder was nomadic, Iris youthful fire. Kalos, Diantha's poised. Professional, her league a spectacle arena with crowds cheering. Formats-wise, full heals per battle, nod to competitive play, while linear path keeps nostalgia. Post-game Delta episode echoes, but Kalos proper fuses them seamlessly. Her impact rippled outward. In anime, Diantha battles Ash, Gardevoir dazzling with missed opportunities. Masters 8 tournament later, she shines. Real-world VGC, Kalos rules dominated, fairy spam, mega strategies born here. Diantha's star power influenced cosplay contests, trainer spotlights. But let's get personal. When you beat her, that Charizardite Y or whatever you snag, it's empowerment. Her words post-defeat, magnifique, you truly are a star, stick with you. Flare's defeat, cathartic, league proven unbreakable. Diantha's reign showcased Kalos's dual soul. Lumios's neon modernity beside ancient ruins. Her Gardevoir dances through it all. Psychic waves parting fog. Moonblast exploding in pink fury. Strength in every contour. Flare in every flourish. Team Flare forced evolution without breaking form. Lysandra's cafe schemes. Getsis-like monologues. They ramp tension, making league victory sweeter. Resilience defined, gyms reopen, Elite Four awaits, champion bows gracefully. This chapter in league history cements Kalos as innovator. Traditional core, badges for throne, modernized with spectacle story megabonds. Diantha, the face of it, her Gardevoir the heart. You've journeyed through her battles, felt the flare chill, seen the bridge built. But hold on, what happens when a region ditches gyms entirely, opting for an island-hopping anomaly that flips the league script upside down? Next, Chapter 13, Alola's Island Challenge. Anomaly reveals how it all unraveled and reformed in ways that'll blow your mind. Alola's Island Challenge. Anomaly. Alola shattered the Pokémon League mold right from the start. In Pokémon Sun and Moon, you step off the boat into a sun-soaked paradise, with no gyms in sight, no badges to collect, and no Elite Four waiting at the end of a linear path. Instead, the region thrusts you into the heart of its ancient island challenge, a rite of passage that's equal parts puzzle, battle royale, and cultural immersion. What makes this anomaly so gripping is how it forces you to earn your strength through trials that test not just your Pokémon, but your wits, your bonds, and your respect for Alola's wild spirit. You begin on Melemele Island, where Professor Kukui greets you like an old friend, handing over your first partner and sparking the flame of adventure. But forget the standard lab tutorial battles. Kukui points you toward Ilex's trial Captain Ilima, a sleek normal-type specialist who sets you on the path to Verdant Cavern. There, the trial unfolds like a living gauntlet. You solve riddles by finding yellow berries hidden in the undergrowth, battling wild Pokémon infused with trial energy that amps up their stats. Then comes the totem Pokémon, the star of the show, a hulking Gumshoes backed by allied Rattata that spam Quick Attack. It's your first taste of desperation, dodging ally assaults while your team chips away at a boss with type advantages and aura boosts. Succeed and you earn a Normalium Z, unlocking Z moves, these explosive crystal-powered finishers that let your Pokémon unleash devastating signature attacks once per battle. With that spark of power, you head to the grand trial against Kahuna Hala in Iki Town. Hala's no pushover. His Crabrawler evolves mid-fight into Crabominable in Ultra Sun and Moon, forcing you to adapt on the fly. Defeat him, and you claim your first stamp, proving you're ready for bigger islands. But here's where Alola hooks you deeper. Every trial feels personal. Captains like Lana on Akala Island turn Brooklet Hill into a watery ambush, where wishy-washy schools swarm as you hunt neon Pokémon under a cascading waterfall. Totem Wishy-Washy calls in a backup Araquanid that sets Sticky Web, slowing your team to a crawl. Beat It, and Lana's Z-move demo with Poplio shows you the flashy potential ahead. Akala's trials ramp up the variety. On Route 5, Fireflies light your way to Captain Kiawe's Weller Volcano Park, a molten maze where you ring bells to summon Totem Salazzle, a poison fire seductress flanked by buzzing Salandit that inflict poison and paralysis. The heat is on, one wrong move and you're scorched. Kiawe's grand trial at the observatory pits his Lycanroc against you under the stars, a rock-hard brawl that cements Akala's fiery soul. Then Olivia, the rock-type kahuna, guards Akala's heart at the ruins of life. Her Lycanroc and Probopass demand precision, rewarding you with a stamp that feels like conquering a mountain. But Ula Ula Island flips the script into shadowy intrigue. Captain Acerola sends you into lush jungle? No, wait, that's Akala. Ula Ula starts with Sophocles at Hokulani Observatory, but the real mindbender is Marley Garden with Captain Mallow? No, let's get this straight. Ula Ula's trials weave through desert thorns and haunted crypts. Captain Nanu lurks as Kahuna, but first you tackle Po Town, overtaken by Team Skull Grunts in a zombie-like haze. Totem Mimikyu in the Shady House is pure nightmare fuel, a shadowy dusk form that summons allies and drains your will with Play Rough. Acerola's trial in the abandoned thrifty Megamart turns shopping carts into spectral puzzles, leading to a Totem Palossand that sand-tombs your Pokémon while backed by Sandygast ghosts. Ula Ula's grand trial with Nanu in Mali City Library feels like a noir showdown. His Sableye, Crocodile, and Alolan Persian toy with you using screens, taunts, and primal fury, only relenting when you prove your grit. It's here that Alola's anomaly shines. Kahunas aren't gym leaders collecting stamps. They're guardians who only reveal themselves after you've honoured their island's traditions. No 8 badges checklist, just 4 stamps that unlock the path to legendary guardians. Pony. Island cranks the epic scale. Captain Harpoo hides her trial site, leading you to the vast Pony Canyon, where Totem Kommo-o roars amid dragon dens, calling Komala and Driftblim allies that put you to sleep or confuse your squad. Harpoo's grand trial on Executor Island pits her massive Mudstell against your ace, a earth-shaking clash atop a tropical titan. With all stamps earned, the Island Challenge climaxes at the altar of the Sunu or Moon, where you confront the Tapu Guardians. Tapu Koko's electric fury, Tapu Lele's psychic barrages, Tapu Bulu's grass charges, and Tapu Fini's watery mists. These ancient deities don't just battle, they judge your worthiness. You've conquered the anomaly, right? Wrong. Sun and Moon don't end with a champion crowning. Instead, they hurl you into the Ultra Beast crisis. Portals rip open, unleashing Nihiligo, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Kartana, Celesteela, and Guzzlord, otherworldly invaders that warp reality. You ally with the Ether Foundation, Lucamine's dysfunctional empire, diving through ultraspace to save Lily and seal the rifts. Only after this interdimensional chaos does Professor Kukui step up with the game changer. Post Hau'oli City, after the festival vibes and early trials, Kukui reveals his dream, forming the Alola League. He's not just your goofy professor tossing beach balls, he's a visionary who studied every other region's system. Witnessing your trials and the Ultra Beast threat convinces Kahunas, Tapus, and even the shady Nanu to back him. Manalo Stadium rises like a coliseum from the waves, a dazzling venue blending Alolan flair with league tradition. Kukui announces the inaugural Alola League tournament, inviting top trainers, your rival Hau, Gladion, the captains turning pros, and even international stars. The tournament explodes into bracket madness. You blaze through round 1 against Hau's loyal Decidueye or Primarina. His Z-move clashes, mirroring your growth. Quarterfinals pit you against Molaine's Steel Fortress or Acerola's ghostly horde. Semi-finals might face Olivia's Rocks or Kiawe's Flames, each match a spectacle under roaring crowds. The finals crown you amid fireworks, but wait, the real payoff hits post-victory. Kukui challenges you as the league's first official foe. His Incineroar, Bravery, Magnezone, and more testing if you're truly champion material. Win, and you're Alola's first champion, defender against Ultra Beasts and future threats. This anomaly redefined what a league could be. Alola skipped the gym grind for organic growth, where Z-crystals and totem bosses taught adaptation over rote battling. It made you feel like a kahuna in training, bonded to islands, alive with myth. No Elite Four yet. That comes later in Ultra Sun and Moon with a twist. Molayne, Acerola, Olivia, and Kahili form one, guarding the rematch path. But the core remains. Kukui's league birthed from Anomaly, crowning you amid beastly apocalypse. Why did Alola deviate so boldly? Game Freak wanted freshness after Kalas's linearity. Trials encouraged exploration, tying battles to lore like the guardian deities and Sea Power's ancient roots. You weren't badge hunting, you were proving harmony with Alola's ecosystem. Imagine the surprise when fans booted up Sun and Moon, expecting Brock and Misty clones, only to fish with Lana or dance with hula dancers. It paid off, sales soared, and the champion title felt earned through a saga of stamps, not stamps alone. In Ultra versions, the anomaly evolves. Ultra Necrozma crashes the party, forcing a mega crisis before the league. You team with Hau and Gladion for Prism-powered showdowns, then dive deeper into Ultra Space megacities. The tournament stays, but now with post-game Elite Four and rematches, solidifying Alola's place in league history. Kukui's formation wasn't whimsy, it was evolution. Adapting Indigo's template to island life while keeping the champion as the pinnacle. You become that pinnacle, staring down legends and beasts, Pokeball in hand. The crowd chants your name as confetti rains, but threats loom eternal. Alola's anomaly proved leagues could innovate without breaking. Foregoing gyms for trials built a champion unbreakable. Yet, as Alola stabilized its newborn league, other regions were reinventing the wheel entirely. Up next, discover how Galar and Paldea's modern arenas flipped the script on stadium spectacles and open-world dominance, with twists that'll make you rethink every champion battle you've ever loved. Gala and Paldea's modern arenas, in 2019, Pokémon Sword and Shield burst onto the scene, transforming the age-old gym challenge into a full-blown televised extravaganza across the region of Gala. No longer just a personal quest for badges. This was primetime entertainment, with massive stadiums packed to the rafters, roaring crowds chanting your name, and cameras capturing every electrifying moment. You, the aspiring champion, step up as one of 8 hopefuls selected for the challenge, your journey broadcast live to millions. But what makes Gala's arenas stand out? It's the introduction of Dynamax, a phenomenon that lets Pokémon grow to colossal sizes and unleash devastating max moves, but only within these specially designed power spots in the stadiums. Picture your trusty partner swelling to building height, the ground shaking under its weight, as you command it against a gym leader who's been honing their craft for years. Let's break down how this works. The Gala Gym Challenge kicks off with you earning endorsements from gym leaders scattered across the map, each one a master of a specific type, just like always. But here's the twist. These aren't dusty old gyms tucked away in towns. Milo, the grass-type expert, challenges you in a sun-drenched stadium surrounded by swaying fields of Turfield. His Eldegoss floats like a massive cotton ball, Dynamaxed and ready to blanket the field in pollen. Beat him, and you're one step closer, your endorsement flashing on giant screens nationwide. Then comes Nessa in Hulbury, the water specialist whose stadium overlooks crashing waves. Her dreadnought clamps down with jaws like steel traps, water surging in max geysers that could flood the pitch. You feel the pressure, don't you? Every victory elevates your rank on the leaderboards, unlocking tougher challenges. As you climb, the stakes skyrocket. Carbu in Motostoke brings fire-type fury, his Centiskorch writhing like a living inferno across the industrial stadium's gears and flames. Opal tests your fairy-type savvy in Ballinlay's whimsical spotlight-lit arena, where her alchemy whips up sugary barrages. Then Bee or Alistair, depending on your path, in Stowenside's ancient ruins-turned stadium, pounding away with fighting or ghost moves that echo through the stone halls. Bee's surf-etched charges with a leek spear longer than a lance, while Alistair's Gengar haunts the shadows with Dynamax phantoms. You're not just collecting badges, you're building a fan base, your battles dissected by pundits on Gala's sports networks. Who could forget the electric tension of Pier's Dark-type showdown in Spikemouth? His stadium's gritty, chain-link vibe contrasts the glamour, but his Obstagoon's max ooze hits like a freight train. And Bee or Alistair leads into the pinnacle, Raihan, the Dragon Master of Hammerlock, whose weather-manipulating team turns the vast Colosseum into a storm of sand, rain, or sun. But none of this compares to the man at the top, Leon, the undefeated champion of Galar. He's not just strong, he's a legend. The guy who's held the title for over a decade, his cape billowing as he strides into the stadium like a rock star. Leon's team is a powerhouse rainbow. Charizard, Dragapult, Haxorus, you name it, each one a Gigantamax behemoth capable of reshaping the battlefield. Gigantamax, you see, is Dynamax's elite form, exclusive to certain species, unleashing unique G-Max moves that turn the tide in seconds. His Charizard's G-Max Wildfire scorches everything in lingering flames, while Dragapult's G-Max Draconic Fang rains spectral dragons. Fans worship him. He's the face of Galar Pokémon, unbeatable in official matches. Trainers have tried and failed, their dreams crushed under his relentless strategy. You watch his highlights religiously, heart racing at the thought, could anyone topple this king? That's where you come in. After scraping together those 8 endorsements, you face the semi-finals against other top challengers like Bede or Marnie, their rivalries boiling over in high-stakes Dynamax clashes. Win through, and it's the finals. You versus Leon himself in Wyndon Stadium, the largest arena in Pokémon history, seats stacked to the heavens, fireworks exploding overhead. The crowd hushes as he tosses his first Pokeball. You counter, your team Dynamax to match his giants. Moves clash like thunder, Max Airstreams whipping gales, Max Knuckles pulverizing the ground. Leon grins, adapting on the fly, but you've studied him, exploited his one blind spot. Maybe it's outlasting his Dragapult with a well-timed switch, or overwhelming his Aegislash with type advantages honed from every gym scrap. The final blow lands, the stadium erupts, Leon extends a hand, crowning you the new champion of Gala. In that instant, the league evolves. The unbeatable falls, proving the system's heart still beats for the underdog. Gala didn't stop there. Post-game, you defend your title in the Champion Cup, a tournament blending gym leaders, rivals, and even Leon himself in rotating brackets. Its ongoing spectacle, keeping the league alive year-round. But fast forward to 2022, and Generation 9 in Scarlet and Violet takes modern arenas to uncharted heights in Paldea. No more linear badge hunt. Paldea opens the world to you completely. Gyms? They're there, but you tackle them in any order you choose, across an expansive map of deserts, mountains, and glittering cities. Terrastal debuts here, a crystalline phenomenon where Pokémon terrestrialize, changing their type entirely via a Terra Jewel on their head, gaining a stunning glassy sheen and boosted stabby moves. It's like Dynamax on steroids, but usable anywhere, redefining every badge battle. Paldea's 8 gym leaders embody this freedom. Start with Katie in Cortondo, her bug types buzzing in an orchard stadium, her Ursaluna terrestrializing to fire for a shocking upset potential. Then Kofu in Cascarafa, Watermaster whose stadium pipes cascade like waterfalls. But watch his Veluza slice with psychic terror shifts. Iono, the electric streamer idol, broadcasts her Levincia gym live, her Miss Magius zapping with ghost terror surprises amid neon lights. Larry, the stoic normal-type salaryman, faces you in Medali's upscale restaurant arena, his Staraptor soaring with a steel terror edge. Rhyme in Montenevera's haunted theatre pulses with ghost raps, her toxicity amplifying to ice terror chills. Tulip's psychic gym in Alfornada warps reality with portals, her Florges blooming in poison terror elegance. Grusha in Glaciado Mountain Ski Lodge chills with ice, his Altaria avalanching as a dragon terror beast. Finally, Erie in Porto Marinada's Portside Bazaar brings poison flare, her Clodsire oozing ground terror menace. Badges don't just unlock the Elite Four, they form the core of your team for the endgame gauntlet. Collect them all, and you're off to the Pokémon League on top of Montenevera, or so it seems. Paldea's twist, 3 paths converge, the Elite Four, Starfall Street's Team Star bosses, and the secretive Area Zero depths, all culminating in battles against Professors Sada or Turo, depending on your game. The traditional league waits, Rika's ground, Onslaught in her secretary suit, followed by Poppy's Steel Titans, Larry again, with flying prowess, and Hassel the Dragon Artist. Then the council chairman, Geeta, whose presence demands perfection. But the real capstone, top champion Nimona, your rival, whose chaste strength her whole life, her team terrestrializing unpredictably in the league's grand hall. What does this mean for Paldea's arenas? Terrastal redefines badges as customizable puzzles. You scout terror types in the wild, raid dens for shards, crafting jewels to counter gym strategies. It's strategic depth on steroids. Imagine terrestrializing a fire type to water just to douse a leader's ace. The Elite Four isn't a static wall, it's a meritocracy, with Geeta scouting talent league-wide. Nimona embodies the modern champion, not a distant idol like Leon, but a peer pushing you to your limits, her Pormot or Gudra gleaming crystal blue as it surges forward. Defeat her, and you've conquered Paldea, but the region's open world invites replays, rematches, DLC paths like the Blueberry Academy League, adding more layers. These modern twists in Gala and Paldea show the league's pulse quickening. Televised Dynamax turned battles into blockbusters, crowning and dethroning legends like Leon in real-time drama. Terrastall in Paldea shattered linearity, making every arena a sandbox of type-shifting chaos. You felt it, the rush of toppling giants, the thrill of rewriting rules. But hold on, because while the games built these epic structures, the anime spun its own wild threads alongside. Up next in Chapter 15, anime's parallel leagues and Ash's glory, where one trainer's journey flips the script entirely. You won't want to miss how it all collides. Anime's parallel leagues and Ash's glory. In the Pokémon anime, Ash Ketchum didn't settle for collecting badges and challenging Elite Fours like in the games. He forged his own path through massive regional conferences that tested trainers from across the world. These weren't the rigid league structures you know from Kanto or Johto. No, they were explosive tournaments where hundreds of badge holders clashed in elimination battles, with the winner earning the title of conference victor and a shot at something even bigger. Journey with me. Ash starts in the Indigo League Conference, his Pikachu unleashing Thunderbolt after Thunderbolt, but he falls just short against Richie, that heartbreaking loss fueling his fire for years. You felt that sting, didn't you? Every top 8 finish in the Orange League, Johto's Silver Conference, Hoenn's Evergrande Conference, it built this relentless momentum, 8 badges turning into brutal single elimination brackets, packed with rivals like Gary Oak and unexpected dark horses. But here's where the anime truly splits from the games. Those conferences became Ash's proving grounds, not gateways to a single champion throne. In Kanto, no Elite Four showdown, just the conference crown as the prize. Johto mirrored it, with the World Cup and Silver Conference ramping up the stakes. Hoenn cranked it higher, with the Hoenn League proper, where Ash scrapped his way past Katie, Dudley and Morrison, only to bow out to Tyson and his Meowth. Each one layered on the drama, you. See, Ash's growth wasn't linear, it was forged in these high-pressure spectacles. Sinnoh's Sinnoh League saw him dismantle Paul in a grudge match that echoed through the fandom, Paul's Pokémon finally respecting Pikachu's grit. Unova's Virtuous Conference, Ash dismantled Trip and Stefan, but Cameron's goof-up handed him another top 4 heartbreak. Kalos pushed him to his limits against Sawyer and Alain. That Mega Lucario clash still gives me chills. These weren't side quests, they were the anime's parallel leagues, reimagining the gym circuit's payoff as global showdowns where anyone with 8 badges could steal the spotlight. Then Alola hit and everything changed. You remember how Alola ditched gyms entirely at first? No badges, just the island challenge with kahunas and totem Pokémon. But Professor Kukui, that visionary, saw the fire in Ash's eyes and rallied the region to form the very first Alola League. They built it from scratch, Manalo Stadium rising like a beacon, adopting the classic 8-gym structure, but infused with Alola's vibrant spirit. Ash stormed through preliminaries, dismantling Haumia, Maho, and more, his roulette sniping from the shadows, Lycanroc unleashing Z-moves that shook the arena. Quarterfinals, he crushed Kiawe's Turtonator with Incineroar's raw power. Semi-finals brought the thunder against Guzma's Golisopod, Pikachu's Iron Tail, cracking through that first impression. And the finals, oh man, Ash versus Kukui, Tapu Koko versus Pikachu, Solgaleo Illusions clashing with 10,000 volt Thunderbolt. Ash's team, Incineroar, Naganadel, Melmetal, pushed Kukui's Dream Squad to the brink. When Pikachu's Z-move Gigavolt Havoc sealed it, Ash became the first ever Alola champion. Not just a conference win, he claimed the throne, badge case glowing under those stadium lights. You could hear the islands cheering. That victory, it wasn't handed to him, it was earned after years of near misses, making it hit harder than any game run. But Ash wasn't done. The anime didn't stop at regional glory, it launched him into the World Coronation Series, a global juggernaut that unified every champion-level trainer on the planet. Announced after Alola, this wasn't some local league, it was the pinnacle, dividing trainers into ranks from newcomer to master. Climb the ladder through online battles and live qualifiers, and you enter the Masters 8 tournament, where the world's elite collide. Ash starts as a master candidate, his Alola win propelling him forward. You watched him grind, dismantling lesser ranks with Pikachu's quick attack blitzes, Dragonite's extreme speed sweeps, Gengar flipping shadows on unsuspecting foes. He faces legends, Steven Stone's Metagross clashing with Sirfetch'd, his Steel-type dominance tested by Ash's unyielding adaptability. Cynthia's Garchomp roars in, but Ash's Lucario counters with Aura Sphere precision, that tiebreaker battle etching his name deeper. The Masters 8, pure fire. First round, Ash crushes Rick Dojo Master, his Greninja pulling Bond phenomenon tricks that left fans screaming. Then Bea, the Gala powerhouse, her Sirfetch'd dueling to a standstill until Ash's Dracovish crunches through with vicious rend. Now Lance, the Kanto Johto Dragon Master, Hyper Beam barrages met by Ash's perfect counters. Cynthia rematch, Spiritom's lockdown, broken by Gengar, her Rose Raid wilted under Lucario's Meteor Mash. Steven again, Agron's iron walls shattered by Sirfetch'd's Meteor Assault. And then, the finals. Leon, undefeated, Galar champion, the guy who embodies game perfection with his Charizard Gigantamax form blotting out the sky. You know Leon, flawless record, Dragapult, phasing through attacks, Haxorus guillotining teams. But Ash, he brought Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, Sirfetch'd, and Dracovish. Round 1, Pikachu outmaneuvers. Dragapult with Electro Web Traps. Dragonite tanks Cinderace's Pyro Ball, retaliating with Draco Meteor Rains. Gengar ghosts past Rhyperior, Shadow Ball exploding for the KO. Lucario clashes with Dragapult again, Aura Sphere piercing the void. Sirfetch'd holds Haxorus at bay with Brave Bird Fury. And Dracovish, that fossil freak seals it against Mr. Rhyme with a super effective crunch. The stadium erupts as Pikachu dodges Gigantamax Charizard's G-Max Wildfire, countering with 10,000 volt Thunderbolt in full Z-move glory. Charizard falls. Ash Ketchum, the eternal underdog, dethrones Leon and claims the World Coronation Series crown. He's world champion. Not a regional title, a global one, unifying the Masters 8 under his banner. Every Elite Four, every game champion bows to his journey. Now the twist that flips the script, in the anime's grand narrative, Ash eclipses even the game's most iconic champions. Blue, Lance, Cynthia, Diantha, Leon. They're titans in their regions, but Ash's arc spans them all. He doesn't just beat one Elite Four, he outlasts their equivalents across conferences, claims Alola's throne where no game player did, and then topples the world order. Red sits eternal on Mat Silver, silent and supreme, but Ash actively conquers the living legends. His Pikachu, that electric heart, has faced Mewtwo, Ho-Oh, every legendary echo, yet keeps evolving. While game champions guard static thrones, Ash's glory is dynamic, a narrative supernova that redefines strength. You think about it. Game protagonists assume titles quietly, but Ash broadcasts his triumphs to the world, inspiring billions. He's battled in 10 regions, won the one that didn't exist in games at launch, and unified a fractured competitive scene into one coronation spectacle. This parallel path in the anime isn't a copy, it's an elevation. Conferences built tension through repeated heartbreak, Alola delivered the breakthrough, and the World Coronation Series crowned him above all. Leon, the unbeaten monarch of Galar, trains with Ash post-loss, acknowledging the new king. Cynthia mentors him. Lance respects the fire. Ash didn't just participate, he rewrote the hierarchy, proving that persistence trumps pedigree. Remember those early Indigo days? Pikachu refusing Charizard's flame? It all led here. Fans debated for years if Ash could ever win big. Alola silenced doubters. The World Series obliterated them. And yet, this is just the spark. How do these anime triumphs bleed into the broader competitive universe, linking games, shows, and real-world battles into one unstoppable force? That's exactly what we dive into next in Chapter 16, the global Pokémon ecosystem. You won't want to miss how it all connects. Trust me, the unification waiting there changes everything you thought you knew. The global Pokémon ecosystem. Every Pokémon region you've conquered, from the misty peaks of Kanto to the sun-drenched shores of Paldea, isn't just a standalone adventure. It's a single cog in the colossal machine of the global Pokémon ecosystem, where champions clash across borders and formats to crown the ultimate ruler of them all. What started as isolated league battles has exploded into a unified competitive empire that spans video games, anime, trading cards, and real-world stadiums packed with screaming fans. Think about it. You've grinded through 8 gyms, stared down the Elite Four, and dethroned a champion like Blue or Cynthia. That rush is the foundation. But the real magic happens when those regional titans step into the spotlight of international showdowns. Enter the champion tournaments, high-stakes spectacles where the strongest trainers from every league converge. Picture Leon from Galar with his unbreakable Charizard facing off against Cynthia's Garchomp in a battle that shakes the Pokémon world to its core. These aren't random rivalries. They're meticulously organised events that pull together winners from Indigo Pokémon League conferences and even Alola's freshly minted Island Challenge League. And here's where it gets wild. These champion tournaments directly mirror the evolution of real-world esports. Just like how League of Legends Worlds or the Fortnite World Cup turned pro gaming into a billion-dollar industry, Pokémon's elite battles have professionalized the dream of every kid with a Pokédex. Back in the early days, it was casual showdowns at regional events. Fast forward to today, and you've got the Video Game Championships, or VGC, as the beating heart. Thousands of players qualify through online battles and local qualifiers, whittling down to a final showdown at events like the Pokémon World Championships in Honolulu or Yokohama. Top players like Wolf Glick or Sajin Park aren't just gamers. They're esports athletes with sponsorships, training regimens, and fan bases rivaling soccer stars. You remember that time in Sword and Shield when you watched the Champion Cup unfold? Crowds chanting, rivals like Marnie and Bede pushing their limits, all culminating in a tournament bracket that decided Galar's top dog. That's no coincidence. Game Freak wove real esports DNA right into the story. The VGC format evolves yearly too, just like pro scenes adapt metas, double battles, restricted Pokémon pools, terrain effects, terrestrialization in the latest gens. It's all tuned for balance and spectacle, keeping casual players hooked while pros grind for glory. In 2023 alone, VGC Worlds saw over 1,000 competitors from 50 countries, with prize pools hitting 6 figures. That's esports evolution in action, turning your backyard battles into global phenomena. But who keeps this juggernaut from spinning out of control? The Pokémon Company International, or TPCI, that's who. They're the unseen architects, overseeing every facet to unify games, anime, and the trading card game into one seamless competitive empire. In the games, they dictate league rules through updates and DLC. Anime episodes sync up with major tournaments, like Ashes Masters 8 Showdown, echoing VGC brackets. And TCG, world's champions like Tord Riklev dominate formats that bleed into video game strategies, with shared card arts and mechanics blurring the lines. Take the World Coronation series from Journeys. Ash claws his way from Masters 1000 to World Champion against Leon, a narrative payoff years in the making. It's not just fan service. TPCI calibrates it to parallel real events, where VGC winners get hyped in trailers and anime crossovers boost TCG sales. This oversight creates a feedback loop. A killer VGC deck inspires anime episodes, which hype new cards which players then test in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet raids. It's an empire where every medium feeds the others, turning disparate regions into a connected universe. Dive deeper, and you'll see how regional quirks feed the global beast. Kanto's Indigo League set the template. Badges: Elite 4, Champion. Johto mirrored it with Lance as a roaming legend. Hoenn's Steven Stone brought Mega Evolution drama. Sinnoh's Cynthia became the gold standard. Her team so iconic it headlined Smash Brothers. Unova shook things up with Alder as a wandering philosopher champ. Iris in Black 2 and White 2 proved kids could rule. Kalos's Diantha dazzled with actress flair. Even Alola, starting Sans gyms with its Island Trials and Kahunas, pivoted under Professor Kukui to form a league, Kahunas as Elite 4, and Kukui versus the player in the final. Galar's Open World Cup, Paldea's Academy Twist, they all funnel talent upward. Now, those talents collide in champion tournaments. In Masters X, post-league events pit regional kings like Geeta of Paldea against Diantha or Lance. Wins here unlock legendary encounters, but more importantly, they symbolize the ecosystem's peak. TPCI ensures fairness across genes. Gen 9 VGC bans Paradox Pokémon from early play, mirroring how esports patches nerf overpowered picks. Real-world pros like the American VGC champ Rivers use regulation sets that match game story modes, creating parity. This unification isn't accidental. TPCI invests millions in infrastructure. Pokémon Go Fest stadium battles echo TCG regionals. Unite qualifiers feed into Worlds alongside VGC. Anime tie-ins like Horizons keep the hype alive, with new pro tags chasing league dreams. TCG's rotation syncs with game releases, so a strong X card like Charizard dominates both tables and ladders. The result? A competitive empire where your Unova playthrough informs Galar strategies, and a Worlds VGC win gets you anime cameos. But you feel the momentum building towards something bigger, right? What if I told you whispers of a unified World League are already circulating? Imagine every champion, every VGC master, every TCG titan in one endless circuit. No more regional silos. A true global ladder where Red could rematch Leon, or Ash battles a player avatar. TPCI's been laying groundwork. Crossovers in Scarlet and Violet Epilogue, Masters App global rankings. It's the natural evolution, promising an empire without borders. Let's unpack real esports parallels that make your jaw drop. Early Pokémon Worlds in 2004 were tiny, like the awkward LAN parties of old Counter-Strike. By 2019, Hawaii Worlds drew 10,000 spectators, live streamed to millions with celebrity commentators. VGC's double battle format, pure spectator gold, faster than singles, with mind games on weather and tricks. Pros train 40 hours weekly, analysing replays like chess grandmasters. TPCI's esports arm partners with ESL, streams on Twitch and YouTube, even VR demos. It's Fortnite-level production, drone shots, player cams, hype montages. Contrast that with anime's role. Ash's Indigo loss fueled a generation. His Alola champ win broke the mold, proving persistence pays. Journey's World Coronation, ranked tiers from 50 to World Champion, mirrored VGC qualifiers perfectly. Go's TCG arc, direct nod to card scene. TPCI scripts these to amplify real events. Post-Worlds episodes feature winners, spiking registrations 30%. TCG weaves in tightest. Formats like Standard evolve with game genes, Pokémon like Dragapult dominating both. Worlds Junior, Senior, Masters divisions parallel age-gated VGC. Dual champs like Andrew Emerson, winning TCG and VGC, ecosystem perfection. TPCI unifies via Pokémon Card Game Battle Academy, tying into video tutorials. Player champions add personal stakes. You beat Steven? You're Hoenn's face until next tourney. Red's Mitt Silver Exile, Eternal Guardian. Blue's Viridian Gym Leader gig post-loss. Humbling realism. These stories humanize the grind, making global clashes epic. Challenges persist, fueling evolution. Travel visas snag international play, Metagame imbalances spark bans. TPCR adapts ruthlessly. Gen 8's Dynamax ditched for Tira. VGC speedrunning new rules. Future unified league. It'd standardized badges across regions. Maybe holographic Elite 4 holograms. Tease of multiversal champs via Scarlet Violet's postgame. This ecosystem's genius lies in accessibility. Free ladder climbs in Pokémon. Showdown mimic VGC practice. Mobile apps track metas. Kids start local dream worlds. You're part of it. Every battle logged feeds TPCI data for balance. As regional leagues feed champion tournaments, VGC mirrors esports rise, TPCI forges the empire. We stand on the cusp. But what does this mean for the ultimate legacy of Pokémon champions? The final revelation ties every badge, every throne, every world's trophy into one unbreakable truth. Stick around, you won't see the throne room the same way again.